As the room fill up, be sure, and I mean just that, be sure to hit the like button, share this content, let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys, sports talk, and beyond. It's including the ice wall. Let's get it. Mama said there'll be days just like this. Come on. They really say ain't no party like a cowboy party. What about a Law Nation groove? Come on. All right. What's good? One love. Hope all is well. Let me know if the audio is straight before we get things going. You know, whenever I move my soundboard, I'm gonna have to go get another one, right? Because whenever I move it, you know, the adjustment levels goes crazy. We're gonna have to get us another one when I get on the road or what have you. But we are here live at Law Nation Studios, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in. And we're gonna talk about we don't have to fight for attention. Let me repeat, we don't have to fight for attention. And as you guys can see, Darius Leonard is out there on the thumbnail. You see Dak Prescott as well as Jerry Wayne Jones. And this particular team is focused. They are locked in. They are focused. And is bad audio? Audio's bad? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if the audio is straight, though. And that's why I love this, right? You know, as a content creator, I use you guys as my production staff. And let me know when I have to pay y'all, man. Let me know when I have to pay y'all for the production staff is what we got. And let me see. Okay. Ooh, I got a good message. Oh my goodness. Okay, the audio is straight. All right, good. Oh, I'm gonna let that sizzle a little bit for what that text message I just got. But wait, baby. Oh my goodness. If you don't know me by now, but here's my. Let me calm down a little bit, because when you get one of those messages. Making moves. Okay, great. Back. Let me stay focused. So we don't have to fight for attention. We don't have to. The attention is already here. And here are the things. Now, Darius Leonard is supposed to have a sit down, a lunch date with Jerry Jones. Now, if he decide to say, you know what, all right, Jerry, the oodles and noodles were straight. Hey, the salt on the McGriddle was good. But, hey, I'm going to shake your hand, and I'm going to go to Love Field Airport, and I'm going to fly to Philly, and I'm going to see what they talking about. Then we don't want him anyway. If he have to have his mindset to let me check out another deal, then we don't want him. I don't care what he brings to the table. Now, if he's sitting here saying that, hey, all right, cool, man, you know, Jerry, hey, nice showing me around and everything, where shall I sign? You know, look, close the deal. That should be the situation there. That should be the deal. That should be the groove. That should be the whole thing that I got to say to you guys at the end of the day. Now, is it a situation that we all of a sudden fall apart because we don't have Darius Leonard? No, you know, it's not a situation there. You know, the Cowboys been the Cowboys before he got here, you know. It's just something that when we look at it, you either can look at it as keep away. You definitely don't want him to go to 49ers land. You definitely, in a certain way, don't want him to go over there to Philly. Why? Because, shoot, that would better their particular team. But if at the end of the day, if he decide to go there, then we ain't going to get mad about it, right? You know? So here's the thoughts of it all, ladies and gentlemen. The Dallas Cowboys The Dallas Cowboys is a team that we're not looking for attention. Dak Prescott is playing differently. People may look at it and say that even Dak himself, he's not looking for it. Because everybody, mama, uncle, cousin, Tupac, and Biggie want to put him inside a certain box, right? Or say that this team have never did X, Y, and Z things. And that is what it is. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. We got them. Great job, Jerry. Let's say, I don't know, man. I don't know if that's the breaking news. If it is, then I'll play the breaking news sound. But if you sitting down with Jerry Jones, right? Jerry Jones, and he's long in the tooth. He got more years behind him than in front of him, not trying to age the man, right? And if he sees something of value in you, he will not let you leave. You know, it's like going to the dance floor. You know what I'm saying? Not floor, but dance floor. And you're dancing with Kamika. You're dancing with Ashaniqua, right? You're dancing with her. You're moving with her. You're grooving with her. You ain't finna go let her move on to Tyrone. You're going to be like, nah, come on over here. You know? So that's the situation at hand. Jerry Jones got her on the dance floor. You know, he's already shot his move. He'd already paid for the drinks. You think that doggone Darius Leonard is sitting down with the lunch or whatever dinner date that they have, that all of a sudden when it's time to pay the tab, who's going to pay for it? You know, come on, y'all know how this game works. Come on, baby. Yes, indeed. Y'all know how this works. You shouldn't be able to leave. You got the tab? You know how that tab works? Looking at the tab, you sitting there like, all right, cool. All right, so. Yes, indeed. We got somebody, Ill Machine says his film don't look good. What tape? What tape don't look good? What game? What game don't look good? What are you looking for? What are the responsibilities of a linebacker? In the last 3 games, did he give you 10 tackles? You know, I get it. People will say, hey, I watched the tape. What tape did you watch? What are you going by? Are the Colts any good themselves? Who on that team stood out? You know, so many people will say, yeah, I watched the tape. Well, what did you see out of the tape? Did he shed? Did he disengage? Did he read the entirety of the field? Did he had played down in the deeper thirds? Did he come down? Did he play hook to flat? Did he squeeze through A gap? Did he squeeze through C gap? Or did he play on the edge there? Can he flip his hips around? Can he cover? Right? How far removed are we from 2021? Because I get it. He had surgery, right? People can say he a shell of himself. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at the tape of what he did in 2021, and I know that's not far removed from here. 7 forced fumbles, 4 INTs, right? So what do you need to? What more do you want? What more do you?
What more do you want from me?
People, when we talk about bringing in a guy, right? And granted, I get it. You're not going to get Lawrence Taylor right now, you know, out of that dude, right? And there's a reason why the doggone Colts got rid of him. I get all of that. But at the end of the day, when I say bring a guy in for a cup of coffee, what you're doing is you got your people to examine him. It's kind of like this right here. People, before the season kicked off, when they heard the news of Tyron Smith, a third of the Cowboy Nation like, get rid of him. Get rid of him. He's trash. He's terrible. Who do you want at left tackle? Who do you want in the league outside of Trent Williams right now and maybe Rashawn Slater, right? Who would you want to put at left tackle outside of Tyron Smith now? You see, so many people, they say, well, I watched the tape. Tyron Smith is washed, Law. He's trash. He stay injured. Right? So what do you want now? Do you want, like for example, we got a lot of fans, and I'm not picking at you, Ill Machine. You one of my dogs, man. I appreciate you, you know. I take him laugh out loud. I appreciate you. But what I'm saying here is, ladies and gentlemen, there's an old saying. Write this down. I would rather have him inside the tent pissing out than outside the tent pissing in. Write that down. Store it into your mental mindset, ladies and gentlemen. You got to also play keep away. At the end of the day, he can be trash or he can be everything. One man's trash is another man's treasure. That's how you got to look at it, ladies and gentlemen. So, Branday, thank you so much for your support. Somebody right now like, yeah, man, I'd rather have him inside than outside, right? Let's get Leonard and beat those sea chickens. Yes, that's the focal point for this week. In order for us to get to the next week, we got to pay attention to the Seahawks. And the Seahawks definitely, to get on the good foot in their particular division and on top of that, their race, they got to beat us. They looking at it like, shoot, I'm trying to beat down the Cowboys. The Cowboys looking at it like, shoot, we've been improving. The funniest thing and the strangest thing of all, before I play some audio, is a lot of times people will say, well, the Cowboys haven't beaten any good teams, right? The Cowboys only beat bad teams. And that's been the narrative for a couple of weeks now, right? There's been a narrative for a couple of days. That's been the narrative for the final hours here, right? So what do you expect the Cowboys to be? Are you expecting the Cowboys to be 11-0 at this point? You expect us to have no losses? Or you expect us to split the 49ers and the Eagles game? Clearly, if you have seen the Eagles tape, let me know, ladies and gentlemen. It's not like the Eagles steamrolled us, by the way. People would think that, hey, if the Cowboys can only beat bad teams, right, and they can't win against good teams, that whole argument would be legitimate, right, if the Eagles did the same thing to us that the 49ers did, right? But that's not the case nor the scenario. So I want people to open up your minds, right? Let me say it one more time with my guy.
Let me crack your cranium and fertilize your brain.
So as a fan, you got to know when to fan. Fans supposed to blow and cool off the hot stuff, right? They're supposed to cheer and root for their team. So in my understanding, if we get mad about this team for losing 3 games, what you expect? You want the team to be 11-0 at this point? You want this team to be undefeated? And that will make you happy? Newsflash, we could be undefeated, but they don't hand out Super Bowls during the season. They definitely don't. What you want? What do y'all look? I'm gonna say it one more time. Tyrese and them, say it one more time.
What more do you want from me?
The Philadelphia Eagles, and I'm only bringing them up for context, they literally trailed in the last 4 games going into the third quarter. Now, granted, they pulled off a W, right? So what it looks like on paper, hey, man, they look good. But let's be real and let's be earnest with ourselves. Granted, the schedule is the schedule. We can't help that. You know what I'm saying? We don't sit back and say, all right, let's make the schedule. But the reality of it is that at the end of the day, you can visibly see those games and say, would you rather, put it like this, would you rather play like the Eagles and be saying, okay, we're 10-1 right now. Hey, we can go with that mentality all the way to the Super Bowl? Or would you rather prefer, my friends, ladies and gentlemen that's watching, to dominate the opposition, to win, to beat down a team, right? Like we've been doing. It was like literally a decision. It came down to the decisions. The final seconds for the Eagles to beat the Washington team. We went in there gracefully, right? And beat them so bad. And I'm quite sure we would have done it still, even if they had Montez and them, and the other smooth guy. I forgot his name. Is Young, right? What's his first name? His name not Bryce. It's Chase. It's Chase Young and them. So it is what it is. All right. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me play some of this audio before we get things going. Shout out to those boys, man, and appreciate everybody for tuning in. Y'all know how it goes, boy. I got to play this. Woo! Hi.
Started with a blowout win over the Giants when Dak threw for 404 yards and 4 touchdowns. Got him. The very next week, the Cowboys traveled to Carolina, and again, Dak played well, throwing for 2 touchdowns on his way to another easy 33-10 victory. And on Thanksgiving, the Dak attack kept on rolling. He had 4 more touchdown passes to beat the Commanders. No one's playing better right now than Dak, and he was asked yesterday about being mentioned in the MVP conversation. Here's what he had to say about that.
What I say to myself is I haven't done. You know what I mean? It's regular season, numbers are great, we're getting wins, that's what's most important, but at the end of the day, we're trying to stack and keep growing this team to make sure that we're getting better each and every week.
I mean, what are we supposed to do if Dak's going to say he ain't do nothing? Like, the whole
took your bet.
the whole
Dak said he haven't done diddly. Dak haven't done zilch. Nothing. I'm not satisfied. We haven't accomplished anything. And y'all want to crown me. I don't want the crown. Y'all want to put me in higher heights. I don't want it. I'm focused. I'm laser locked in. You can put me in any conversation. I get it. Y'all can praise me. I get it. But I don't want it. My mindset is get into the playoffs, winning games there, get into the Super Bowl as a team. Those individual accolades, you can have them. Y'all can discuss those things. I'm focused. I'm daddy now, man. I'm a dad over here. And trust and believe, when you have girls, ooh, your focus is different. Your mindset is different. Your thought track is different. Your philosophy is different. Your temperament is different. Your goals in life is different. Let me know other fellas in the chat. They got little girls, Oh my goodness, man. Let me know in the chat. There was an old saying, that when you have a boy, you have to worry about one swing. But when you have girls, you got to worry about everybody swinging. But now, in this modern day time, some of those Catholic churches, you got to worry about everything now. But let me play this audio, man. Don't cancel me.
The whole thing that we do is say, hey, Dak, you're playing MVP level football. Do it in the playoffs, even though it's not the playoffs. So what are we supposed to do if Dak undercuts our whole industry? Come on, Dak.
Dak got hold of the rundown is what happened.
Dak playing chess.
Part of the show. Look, the schedule's going to get tougher, right? Obviously, they have the Seahawks and they have the Eagles again, and then it gets tougher after that. Do you expect him to keep playing at this level, even against the tougher competition?
Oh, 100%. And I got to give a shout out to Mike McCarthy as well, right? Him and Dak are so in sync right now, they're finishing each other's sentences. It's him, 2 things. We talked about the red zone offense early in the year. They were really struggling. Well, 18 out of the last 26, they scored a touchdown. Ooh. We talked about pre-snap motion for them to be able to get guys open and give Dak coverage tails and move CeeDee Lamb around. Well, they were using it 39% of the year before the bye. Now they're using it 60% of the time. And then this last game against Washington, that blowout game on Thanksgiving? 79% of the time they use pre-snap motion. So for me, it's Mike McCarthy saying to everyone that called his offense archaic and said that the game had passed him by and said that he was a terrible coach. He came back and he made the changes that he needed to make to get his guy rolling. And Dak Prescott is playing not just at an MVP level, but the guy we just talked about in Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, he's above Jalen Hurts right now because of the way that he's played. After the bye, I think he's had 4 300 passing yard games. He hadn't had any before that. They have come back with a vengeance. And him saying that right there, that's like the T.O. meme. That's my quarterback, because you want him to feel, I haven't done anything yet.
You're right.
Now, that's words of RG3. My thing is, let's not make it a fight. Dak versus Jalen Hurts. And I said, and I'm going to say it again, Jalen Hurts is the MVP of his team. of the Eagles, right? We can clearly see that Dak Prescott is the MVP of the Cowboys, if not the league. And that's a whole nother conversation. I can see Eagles fans right now. Oh, how can you say that, Lo? But it is what it is. When you look back at it and you start to see this team, the way we move and rock, man, we are doing things that we haven't done since the 90s. We are doing things that now marinates of what the coaching philosophy supposed to be. There's a game within a game over here in Cowboys land. No other franchise and organization had to fight through all of that and sift through all of that. Finally, Jerry Jones has woke up a little bit. Jerry, you up, dog? Yeah, Jerry. FBI, open up. Jerry finally woke up and said, you know what? Let me put Jimmy Johnson in the ring. Let me do my hands like this and back just a little bit. And allow Mike McCarthy to coach this particular team and allow Dan Quinn to do his thing as well. And take the dog on handcuffs and all of that stuff off of Dak and let him cook. Let him cook. Travis, appreciate you. Law, you know, when we start beating the so-called good teams, the goalposts will be moved to the same. Yeah, same old. The Cowboys can't win the postseason. We ready. Yeah. The goalpost is already built in to move. The goalpost is already here to move. I can already foresee the goalpost being moved. The goalpost is moving. How's the goalpost being moved? Let's go back to week 5. The Cowboys beat the 49ers. The first thing they would say is, all right, well, you know, that's in the regular season. Can you do it in the postseason? Right? Cowboys beat the Eagles week 9 or what have you. Yeah, that's good and all. Yeah, the Cowboys at this time, what we will be, let's say, for example, we are undefeated. We're 11-0. The same statement would be, just wait. I can't make this stuff up. They are an accident waiting to happen. Just wait on it. They're going to let you down at the best time for me and the worst time for you all. That's the reality of it. So in order for the Cowboys to shut down all of this news about the 4-letter, 3-letter network, it's Super Bowl or bust every single year. But Law, I just want to see us get to the NFC Championship game, and I'll be happy. Nah. Because they be waiting. They'll be waiting to see, to say, oh, yeah, I told you, the Cowboys, this is what they do. They go to choke. That's the reality, and that's not up for debate. It's Super Bowl or bust every year. You got people right now that's not even satisfied for blowing out teams. Ah, man, anybody can do that, man. Shoot, I can do that, man. Give me a jersey, man. I can go out there and blow out the Washington team, the Giants. Anybody can do it, you know. It's just what it is. We are ungrateful. You know, we are not satisfied to the point that it's like reversing of everything and anything that we do. Yes, indeed. Law, do you have any truth to it? Yes. Y'all think we the only ones? No, we're not the only one. Let me find my little beautiful display if I can find it. It fit right on in to what I'm saying. That I'm not moving off of this point. I'm not moving off of this point. What that photo at? I can't find the photo. Can't find it. But I can play this audio while I look
about Mike McCarthy to an extent. But Mike McCarthy is not, we do not owe Mike McCarthy an apology. Mike McCarthy owes us an apology because he's doing the things that we said he needed to do. So I respect and I appreciate that Mike McCarthy was able to walk into the building and he say, you know what? Our offensive coach stinks. He's me.
Get him. All right, I found a photo. Let me, bam, put that photo up there, you know. There are teams literally got a longer drought than us. Fan base will have the nerve and the audacity to jump over here and talk noise about us. They would talk noise about us in a longer drought. They have the nerves. Lions fans lost this past Thanksgiving. You think they got bags over their heads because they lost to Green Bay? No.
Stop pretending like we have some different offense than what we have. Oh, what they talk about on Get Up? Motion? Oh, I like that. Let me put some of that in the offense. Oh, we can't run the ball? At the beginning of the year, he's like, we're going to run the ball. We're going to take the pressure off Dak so we have fewer turnovers. That ain't what we doing.
Yeah.
And I respect that. I appreciate his ability to evolve and take the next step and not be hard and fast in his ways and say, I know best. But I ain't saying sorry for telling him to do the right thing, and he's finally doing the right thing now.
Yeah, trust Dak, right? Like that's what we talked about the whole time. Is if you see what their offense was with Kellen Moore, right? It was all in Dak's hands, and so you came in, you had this mindset change, or hey, we're going to shift our philosophy to be this. You realize it's not going to work. We're not going to end up beating the good teams this way. Here's what we're going to have to do: put the ball back in Dak's hand. CD has become the receiver that everybody had hoped he would. Brandon Cooks is making plays. Ferguson's coming off the end. He's hitting the middle of the field. So when you
let me say this, and I've been saying this until I'm Cowboys blue in the face, and we've been going over this many of years. Just because you got talent doesn't mean that it's going to translate. There are, I guarantee you, there were better players than Michael Jordan. Growing up, there were better players than Michael Jordan. They just probably didn't make it to the league or what have you. They probably didn't make it to college. They didn't make it out of high school or what have you. Earl Manning, y'all look up that story. Man, that dude can jump out of the building. Just didn't have his affairs in order, right? And even with the talent of Michael Jordan, how many years it took Jordan? What, 6-7 years or something like that? And he couldn't do it by himself. Well, that would be kind of low blow for the Jordan fans out there, but you know, that's just what it is. He had Scotty. He had Scotty with him, right? Ho Grant and all of those boys, right? So just because you got talent don't mean that automatically, hey man, you're gonna win Super Bowls, you're gonna win championships. I was listening to Skywalker Steele show this morning, and there was a guy that would call in and he was like, well, yeah, man, I'm 51 years of age, blah, blah, blah. And yet, Dak just can't get it done. Danny White is the greatest, you know, all of this stuff. I'm paraphrasing. Danny White had Tom Landry. If I was Sky, I'd have said, hey, Danny White had Tom Landry. If I had your life on the line and you had Jason Garrett or Tom Landry, who are you going to pick? It don't matter. Give me Tom. Give me Tom in them, Systems. And Tom Landry was on the end of it, Law, MJ is the GOAT. Yeah, he is the GOAT. But not just by himself. He had a team too. But I don't want to fight y'all, man. Shout out to MJ. I'm still mad at the doggone Chicago, what they did to my Lakers. You need a team, y'all. You just can't win it by yourself. Unless you're Dirk. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dirk. Nah, he still had Kid and Terry and all of those boys, right? He said snotty. But y'all get me what I'm saying collectively. And of course, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. This is technically, if you want to argue and fight with me, then just do it off air. But right now when I'm live, this is technically Mike McCarthy's first year. I mean, he had doggone Scott Linehan's protege, right? In the building. And his name is Kellen Moore. What they doing over there in Chargers land? He about to be the what's your name? The next head coach for the Chargers. Danny White never won the big one either. It's 22 Savage. I get you on that. Boy, that was a different era there, though, too. That was the Niners eras and all of that. Jordan the GOAT, man. Look, I ain't finna go back and forth with y'all. Jordan him, he is the GOAT. You can't remove that. He a GOAT. Tom Brady is a GOAT. Troy is a GOAT. It's got a lot of GOATs around here. You don't see one GOAT by themselves. But all of the GOATs got something in common. They got a herd. They got teams around them, Unless you want to talk about boxing, Money Mayweather or somebody, undefeated. Yes, indeed. Glenn says, been begging for years a crossing route. Team Mike McCarthy. Here's what I like about Mike McCarthy that I didn't see when he first got here. The ultimate adjustment tool. Mike McCarthy got a little salesman attitude in him too. He do. What are you saying, Law? Yeah, Mike McCarthy. Yeah, I watched every tape. Oh man, I watched every tape of the Cowboys, man. I know what they need to do, Hire me. And then when you get into the room, hey man, I kind of lied on my resume. But now I'm going to watch every tape. But that's just what happened. Kellen Moore, okay, y'all gonna put him on me? Because I already had some guys in mind. Okay, all right. I'll roll with the young kid. And then last year, he would say, hey man, I can't stand option routes, those stop routes. We understand it's a part of the game, but I don't need to see them no more. And then the very next day, he see them, You can't win that way, y'all. A double-minded person is wicked in all thy way. You can't have too many chiefs, right? And not enough Indians. If I can say that saying. Or too many chefs and not enough cooks or something like that, So with that being said, let's talk about this.
Look at it, everything is kind of coming together, and the defense is producing. Not only are they shutting teams, they're scoring points. Which, by the way, when we're seeing all these numbers, let's not forget they score about every week. So Dan Quinn has held up his end of the bargain. Yes. Their defense is playing good. That's why I would say this team scares people, because it's not just offensively. Their defense can flip fields, change, and score. Like when you talk about those type of plays, that's what shifts that's what shifts teams in the playoffs.
So Robert says he's ahead of Jalen Hurts.
Right.
But the one spot where he's not is in the standings, where the
Correct.
Eagles still have a 2-game lead.
Correct.
Eagles have San Francisco this week, Cowboys have Seattle this week, and then it's Dallas and Philadelphia again next week. So if things shake out their way, they could theoretically catch Philadelphia with a win that week. Do they need to catch the Eagles if they're going to make a playoff run? Do they need to get that division title and those home games?
I think that's their main focus, and it should be. We've all been in the locker room before. We understand that each game is important because it's the next game.
Right.
Each game is important because it's the next game. We got Common Sense Lab. OG, I just tagged you on Twitter. A. Rodgers on Dak. Okay. I love to have that insight because he know of you tagged me, right? So let me see. Put it in my DM. That'll be faster way because I get so many tags on Twitter. I get a lot of tags. Put it in the DM, Common Sense, and I'm gonna play that audio. I'm gonna play that audio if you put it in the DM on Twitter. Yes, indeed. Put it in the DM, man. I'm gonna be looking for it. Yes, indeed. We don't know whether or not. Put it in DM. Let me know when you did it so I can jump in on it and get things going. Let me know. Appreciate your action power. I'm about to call you Jackson. All right, good. I see it now. Let me see. I would love to. Boom. What are you talking about?
Some of the mediocrity in the game, and I just want to say, Dak is not who he was talking about.
Okay.
For a number of reasons, but I just love that he's really playing the position. What I mean by that is I'm watching him make Ringo calls. So that's protection adjustments against these crazy looks and picking things up. I'm watching him, bring the tight end back in against zero pressure and throw an old concept we used to run for a touchdown to CeeDee Lamb in the back end zone. I'm watching him use his cadence beautifully and get into this rhythmic, here we go, into like dummy, using it as a dummy sometimes, doing it twice, into like other cadences. I mean, the last 4 or 5 weeks I've gotten to see more of their games, and I just want to say, like, he's playing a position in a really impressive way. And for whatever reason, maybe because he's the Cowboys quarterback.
Man, let me just hit this one more time. Let me hit this.
Here we go! Quarterback, and it's one of those premier positions in sports. Like I feel like the Green Bay quarterback has been for a long time, and some other, positions in various sports. He might take a little more shit than he deserves, or maybe it's deserving of the position, I guess. But I love the way he's playing, and I love the way he's playing, like really playing. I'm not talking about just like, making good throws. I'm talking about, like, it seems more rare that guys are actually really playing a position where you're making adjustments, you're handling everything line of scrimmage. Now you're doing this crazy cadence stuff. Like, I love it, and I just want to shout out Dak for, like, really impressing me multiple times.
Pat McAfee so full. That joke is so much full of hate. But let me play this one more time.
Here we go!
Yeah. All right, so salute to A. Rodgers, you know what I'm saying, for giving that man flowers and these sorts of things. Appreciate him for all of that, what he's doing. Salute to him. I would say this, and I'm not going to say, well, if anybody's more qualified than Aaron Rodgers, let them speak now, or let her speak, or let whoever speak on those type of things. But those cadence and what he's doing as far as reading and adjustments, they are great. And they are things that when a quarterback get in rhythm, you should never apologize for it. You should never be that person to say, well, you know, it's against the Washington team. It's against the Giants. Those are professional teams. And if you can get into rhythm and get your shot going and get your movement going and get the offensive lineman going. Offensive line, and people fail to realize this, in the last so many years that we've been looking at this particular team and we've been talking about offensive line. Offensive line is the only unit that all 5 guys must, M-U-S-T, be on the same page. They got to be on the same page. And what we're seeing now on the back end of the schedule, that even though if it took the Cowboys playing in some odd games against lesser, I guess, players, what have you, to get in rhythm, then let it be. But nobody in the chat can sit back and tell me that those Bama boys from Washington team are trash, and I know some people give away some spleen to have some Bama boys on the team over here, right? And nobody can say, well, Dexter Law and Thibodeau and all of those boys, they trash, man. Oh, Shalari, those guys trash. No. The offensive line, when they get in rhythm, shoot, they take care of business, everything works its way out. And the offensive line been just as impressive as Dak Prescott been in these last few games as well, you know. So kudos and credence to the offensive line guys. You know, yeah, we need breaking news. Let's say, yeah, man. We hope we can get some breaking news, man. My phone will be lit up like a Christmas tree when it happens, though. But he was cited at the Star in Frisco. And let me see what I got here. Let me do this right here. Let me play this right quick, and we'll see what my guy's saying over here on the Twitter. And I love my people on the Twitter. And shout out, kudos and credence to my guys over here on Twitter. I thank y'all so much for what they do. And he got a little cut-ups over here. Let's see.
It is now time for Patrick Walker at Voice of the Star on Twitter. From DallasCowboys.com, brought to you by the WinStar World Casino and Resort. Proud to be the casino of the Dallas Cowboys. Please game responsibly. Is everybody on Shaq Leonard watch right now after Jerry confirmed he was visiting as we speak?
I'd say more or less, and I think it's rightful. You know, I'm never the individual who's always chasing the big name, and anyone who follows me and follows my work knows that I really look for the objectivity in it all. How's the player looking? What's health-wise? You know, so forth and so on. Money, but when it comes to Shaq Leonard, I'm all in. I was in when the Colts waived him, and I didn't think that he would clear waivers, but he did. And I, wanted to see the Cowboys go full bore with this, and that's exactly what they're doing. So, I mean, this is a multi-time Pro Bowler, multi-time All-Pro, and for those that are saying, well, because of the recent back issues, he may not be what he once was. That's completely fine to me, because as long as he is healthy, and 80% Shaq Leonard in 2023 is already better than most linebackers in the league. So he's in the building right now, getting a look over physically. Like Jerry told you guys, he's going to have lunch with Mr. Jones here shortly, later this morning, which is another great sign. And all they need to do is just come to terms and try to get this thing done, hopefully today.
Yeah, hopefully not chicken gizzards, as Jerry was eating since 2 a.m. in the morning. What's the most recent tape you watched of Leonard, and what did it show you?
Well, what I did was I went back and compared his pre-back issue film with his post-back issue film, and I wanted to see what the drop-off was, because obviously there's going to be at least a little bit when you're talking about a back issue, and he still plays at a high level even after the back issues. And, I know that he and the coach kind of had a falling out, and that led to him being benched and so forth and so on, but that's between Shaq Leonard and the Colts. When it comes to what he brings to the Cowboys, I see a guy who's just as physical as he's ever been, equally as driven as he's ever been as far as the mental aspect of it. He's still as hungry to play football as he was when he was prime aspect of it. He's still as hungry to play football as he was when he was prime Shaq Leonard, which at that point was arguably the best linebacker in the league, which is why he was paid as such at the time on a 5-year deal with the Colts. And I'm looking at his fit for what he would be doing for the Cowboys and Dan Quinn's system. Thanks to the emergence of Marquise Bell, thanks to the year 2 jump for Jamon Clark, you mix in some Rashawn Evans. You're not asking Shaq Leonard to come down to Dallas and be that number one guy. So if it turns out over the remainder of this season that he can do so over the course of the next several weeks, absolutely wonderful, fantastic. But you're not looking to put a ton of wear and tear on him. He should be fairly fresh after what happened with Indianapolis. You only need him for the remainder of the season, 6 regular season games, plus hopefully through February. And then you work it out again in the offseason. Money.
Hey, before he goes into details here of all of the money aspects, salute to 105.3 The Fan. Be sure to check those boys out on YouTube, as well as the X app and Instagram, and as well as 105.3thefan.com. And check out Patrick No C Walker. For context only. And I'm not beating him up. I'm definitely not beating him up. Last year, Leighton Vander Esch had 87 tackles, total tackles. Right? Last year, in a full season, 87 tackles, right? And I heard you guys say, hey, he played pretty good, right? So to contextualize Darius or Shaq Leonard now with a bad back, and the season is not even over with. We got over 6 more games to go. Guess how many tackles he have? Can y'all put that down in the box? I'm going to go ahead and give you the answer because I don't want y'all to start looking it up. He already have, with a bad back, allegedly, a bad back, he already have 63 tackles. So what I'm trying to tell y'all, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not saying that, hey, man, give me Shaq over LVE. I'm not making it about that, by the way. But what I'm saying is the levels of production out of tackles that you will get, even with a bad back. I don't even think that we, at this point, got a linebacker with 63 tackles on the team right now. So this will help this out tremendously, right? So that's just all I'm saying. You getting the guy that's going to be able to tackle.
He's not going to be necessarily an issue. Coach owe him $6.1 million, give or take. So right now it's just about fit. And looking at his most recent film versus what the Cowboys need, I think it's perfect.
If this doesn't come to fruition, Pat, do you think that the Cowboys are done investigating the linebacker market, or do you?
Let me jump on and say this. We looking at the numbers too, and granted, shoot, the brother got to sign in order for us to be happy, right? He got to agree with the money and all of the other stuff too. But I'm gonna say this though. Out of the Colts, Buckner is the only guy you can probably name, right, on the Colts defensive front. We got dogs over here, bro. We got dogs with teeth. Sam Williams, Osa. Let me keep naming D-Law, Parsons. We got guys that can flow. Hankins. If you're thinking about just single blocking him, you ain't thinking, right? We got guys, y'all. I'm leaving out somebody, Fowler, and I heard that he's battling through some illness right now. So we all right. You put in an extra, man. Come on, man. Shoot.
You think they'd say, okay, well, just because this fell through, we still have to get more depth here. This is still a challenge for us, and we have to go find somebody.
Yeah. Appreciate you. Thank you for doing your research, Tony. So Damone with a good back got 73. So Damone got a good back, and he got 73. And my guy, Darius, got 67. God dog. Come on.
Like who, Bobby?
For me, specifically as somebody who doesn't work with the team and would be tampering, I would say that Anthony Barr would make sense off of their practice squad. But for somebody in Pat's position, just generalized, do you think there's anybody else out there that they might investigate?
Well done, my friend. Well done. I'll even, because of that, I'll forgive you for not playing Call of Duty. But I'll say that I believe that they're always going to be on the lookout for something that might help them at the linebacker position. I don't think, and I get what you're saying. You're saying Shaq Leonard is, as our friend Brian Broaddus put, a gift from the football gods. You don't expect a guy of this caliber to become free at this point in the season. So when that happens, you got to go put the pedal to the floor and try to get him in. Now, if it doesn't go your way, I don't think that they will put the pedal to the floor in this manner for anyone else. I think they just kind of keep their antenna up to see what becomes available, who might they, be interested in poaching, things like that. But
all right, so I mean, granted, if we get them, it'll be a plus for us. If we don't, then it's not the end of the world, right? So I'm gonna just put that out there once again. But this is a due diligence part, right? And if the Mike McCarthy, Dan Quinn sees it, if he's a good fit for this team, then bring him up. You know what I'm saying? So and smooth him a little bit. Here's the thing, and shout out to the people that's watching. I get it. If the Eagles fans are here, salute to them, right? And salute to them for help growing the nation and hitting the like. Y'all, if y'all gonna be here, hit the like and share this content to your other Eagles parties. And granted, I get it. I probably did. Yeah, I predicted that the Eagles would lose against the doggone Chiefs and Bills, right? And I was damn near almost right. Not like y'all blew those teams out, by the way. But I know for sure that on my tab and on my timeline, y'all predicted that we was going to lose to the doggone Giants and Washington team. We blew those teams out, by the way, So I was a little bit closer on my prediction than yours, right? So I'm going to say this, too. Don't sleep on the Giants, Eagles. Y'all going to have to face them down the stretch. They might surprise y'all with the element. They might hit you with the element of surprise. You better watch out. The veto going to be throwing. I think the Eagles are ranked 28th or 29th in pass defense. And y'all was sweating. I know y'all was sweating. I know it was rainy. It's just those rainy days. And what God has shined a light on y'all just a little bit. He gave y'all a little mercy because y'all played against two teams that normally would carve you up, especially with your pass defense ranked 28th and 29th in the rain. God dog, boy. And you had the aficionados in your back pocket. I'm just going to leave y'all alone with that. But at the end of the day, come on, man. Look, so you mean to tell me if it was a dry out there, Pat Mahomes probably would have carved y'all to death, boy. But it had a little rain in both of those games. That's weird. Hey, that's weird, y'all. So y'all favorite, boy. Y'all Eagles. It just hit me. Both of those teams, y'all played against a quarterback that can probably carve up the 28th ranked the 28th ranked passing defense or 29th ranked passing defense, somewhere around that way. And it rained. God dog it. Hey, y'all blessed, boys. Salute to the Eagles, man. Boy, if that weather was dry, Watson probably would have came down with the ball, or the other dude that he already had complications with his hands. What's his name? MSV or MVS, whatever that, Marquez Valdez, whatever that dude name is. God dog. They probably held him back multiple times in school. Yeah, 27 or 28 penalties. Yeah, ain't that right, Luna? Don't shank me with the butter knife, y'all, but that's just what it is. Hey, Byron Brown said the Chief wide receivers aren't good as they used to be. So if they weren't good as they used to be, can you imagine having a wet ball in the rain? That even strengthens that, But it is what it is, man. Salute to them. All right, I think I had one more audio with this. Hold on.
Comes available, who might they, be interested in poaching, things like that. But this is the blinking light when you talk about Shaq Leonard. So, and then there's the added aspect of, there's a very good chance that if Leonard, does not sign a deal in Dallas, that he ends up having to, playing against Dallas in the near future as a member of the Philadelphia Eagles. So when you're talking about a negotiation, first and foremost, everything I said before that point, as far as his fit in the system, his health, his physicality, his football IQ, his mental drive, all of those are the reasons, money as well, all of those are the reasons that he is perfect for what Dallas needs for what could be this potential playoff run. But then you have the added aspect of, if you don't get this done, Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman probably will. So if you need any more motivation, there it is.
Yeah, I was and I was watching some old clips of Darius. And then I started, when you're diving into their film or what have you, go back and watch some of the old clips and seeing what the possibility could be, right? Not saying that he will be. And I couldn't help to see the punchable face Nicholas Sirianni on the sidelines. He was a streaming kid then, even with the Colts, man. So, yeah, he was on the sidelines. So to bring light to that, Sirianni may have a relationship with Darius Leonard, so they may go back like 4 flats on the Cadillac, because I saw him on the sideline. He was dapping him up and what have you. So they do have a relationship there. And then Howie, if you let Howie get a turn, if there was a meeting, right, with Howie, while he is there in the building, I don't think Howie finds some tapes or something on the man and some old tapes and information on the man and probably say, hey, well, you ain't going nowhere now. So he wouldn't. So if he leaves Dallas and he goes to the Eagles, I'm quite sure he won't leave up out of there without anything. But truth be said, even Rashaan Evans, he left the Eagles camp and said, you know what, I'd rather come over here to Dallas. So that's a whole nother conversation there. Let's listen to what he say from here.
Patrick Walker on the Boomer Jacks Bar and Grill hotline from DallasCowboys.com. Jerry also told us that Leonard probably does not have a financial aspect to this as far as competition from other teams. What did you make of that?
I think he was basically alluding to the salary situation with the Colts. Obviously, with them waiving him, they still owe him $6 million. So because that $6 million is already in his pocket, it shouldn't come down to, quote unquote, a bidding war, is what I think Jerry is saying. I think this is more so a culture versus culture situation, as far as what the Cowboys bring, what the city of Dallas brings, who would he be working with alongside, I should say, current friends and former teammates, Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore, and then under Dan Quinn, which I think we can all agree is the best defensive coordinator in the entire NFL, and he's a player's coach. Guys will run through a wall for him. And then, of course, you got Mike McCarthy, who also, for his own way, he's a player's coach as well. So there's a lot to be sold here as far as it being an easy sell for the Shaq Leonard situation. But money is not necessarily going to be that. And I think that works in the Cowboys' favor, because you two and I and everyone listening, we all know Cowboys are not often going to win a bidding war because they don't want to. They don't want to set markets and things like that. So if you take the money component out of it largely, that favors the Cowboys.
No doubt, man. Good call from No C Walker, man. Y'all be sure to check him out with all what he do and everything that he do. Appreciate No C Walker. And salute to Aaron Rodgers. I see in the chat, not Aaron Rodgers in the chat, but someone said Aaron Rodgers gave out his flowers. Byron Brown says no state taxes in Texas, but Texas will find a way to tax you, though. Give me the state taxes, man. Yes, indeed. Now that Shaq left without signing, now there's no way we would sign him. This is from Jesus Shutherworth. Appreciate you, man. I think that he meant Malik Hooker and Stephon Gilmore. And I think Jonathan Hankins probably had a short stay with Shaq Leonard. So those three guys, all know each other. And Calvin Watkins, I think he probably know him. They all frat brothers. So as much as Calvin Watkins wear that frat hat, that Q-Dog hat everywhere, he probably need to say, hey, Shaq, what's up, man? Come on over here, man. Let me show you where we all stump at over here. So, y'all put some pressure on him to see whether or not he paid his dues or what have you, so he can get this dude over here. Come on, y'all. Help your brother out. HBO him, So we are trending. Shout out to you, David. Thank you for tuning in. So it is what it is. Let's go. Hey, shout out to you, Bama boy. Roll Tide to you. He says Shaq is talking things over with Dan Quinn and visiting the entire team. Yes, indeed. And if you Parsons,
Let's go, man. Let's go.
yes, indeed. Hey, he need to be showing all of that good stuff, man, over there, man. And he said, hey, man, let's look at the tea leaves around here. Let me see if I can get this out the way. Appreciate my guy. Put a heart right there. And if you look at it, Parsons he tried to do his political thing. He had his jersey hung in the back there, and he had Metcalf in the back, which you finna play those boys. I guess he's showing his respect. And speaking of that, let's listen to this audio right quick of my guy DK Metcalf on the Cowboys.
Yeah, it just feels weird practicing a Wednesday on a Sunday, but I'm ready to get back to work.
Why? Did the outcome on Thursday make everybody or make you more anxious to get back to work today?
In a way, yes, ma'am. Anytime after a loss, you want to try to figure out the mistakes and try to fix them as fast as you can. It's just
that boy got Barry White over there.
In a positive direction. So whether that be coming in here working out or going to practice, or just sitting in meetings, just talking through the mistakes, just a step in the right direction, trying to fix our mistakes and get better and just move forward.
What jumps out when you look at their defense on film?
Dallas.
Y'all can't hear the audio?
I thought you were talking about the Niners. Dallas. Well, they got speed everywhere on their defense. And, they've been in a couple shootouts and then they've blown some teams out. So, it's hard to get a.
Yeah, there's no way I could bump that audio up. I'm going to let it play out and then I'll translate. Would that work? There's no way I could bump it up, this audio up. It's just super low. He's talking like, Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal, and DK Metcalf, and I'm fearing for my life. That's how he sounds. So I'm gonna give y'all the translation. So hold on. This is my first time listening to it too. I haven't even listened to the audio. So shout out to my guy Dominique. Appreciate him.
A good grip of who they really are. When you watch film, but they're a fast group who can get to the ball in a hurry. So and they have a pretty stacked group of corners on their team.
Pretty wild to see a quarter with five.
I know. I was thinking like he got more touchdowns than me.
All right, in translation, I never really paid attention to DK Metcalf. Shout out to him, Ole Miss. I love a Mississippi boys. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know he sounded like Shaq. Yeah, I'm named DK Metcalf in the Quiet Storm. You can barely hear it. It was low, but I was saying that I'm in fear of my life because I got a Deron Bland that's going to be covering me. It was low. It was a whispering, But for context, Metcalf have 80 targets with 3 touchdowns. Bland have 59 targets with 7 interceptions, and 5 of those which were returned for a touchdown. So that is basically what the tweet was about, that Bland is more effective in a game than doggone DK Metcalf. But we had a Seahawks fan to call in to the show when we did the live show on Sunday night. Or was it? Yeah, Sunday night. Sunday night. Yeah. And I asked him, I said, shoot, I would still trade my guy Michael Gallup for DK Metcalf, How about that, y'all? Would y'all do that trade? Would you like to have a DK Metcalf on the opposite side, dare I say, of my guy CD Lamb, and on top of that with Brandon Cooks? That'll be a nice little matchup for us, man. Good grief. And the craziest thing about DK Metcalf, that subject what they talked about with Dolly was crazy, and y'all see that I retweeted that one. That was a real crazy one. I don't want to get hit with the Dolly drag is over here, you know what I'm saying? Because you ain't finna drag me throughout the mud for talking about her. But salute to Dolly, and what all she do. But they went there, so y'all be sure to check them out. A little later on tonight, too, I want you guys to tune in. We got the NFC East roundtable tonight, so I will not be able to do the final word with my boys, so y'all gonna have to hold that down over there. But I will be fighting these dudes on the NFC East Roundtable Super Friends show. And basically what I said, that this is definitely down to 2 teams, Cowboys, Eagles, right? That's just what it is. There's no trigger talk to the other communities like Giants and as well as the Washington team. But those are the facts. It's going to go down to the Cowboys versus the Eagles, and I got my money in my mind on the Cowboys. Let me know where y'all got y'all money in mind at, because I clearly can look back at this and tell y'all that at the end of the day, if y'all already know, TCB is nothing that's going to be in our way. Take care of business. Y'all tune in to this show a little later on tonight. It's going to be on that channel, and y'all be sure to support the Cowboys and what we do out here in the streets as it relates to that.
Let me crack your cranium and fertilize your brain.
No doubt, no doubt. And on top of that, man, shout out to my guy Duke Manny Weatherman for working out with this guy by the name of Tyler Smith, who's continuing to elevate his game. For us to see what that brother is doing out there, my goodness. Oh my goodness. At first, I was a little worried about him. I thought it was going to be a sophomore slump, but hey, he shook that off and stood right on top of it. And shout out to my guy Duke, man, for always working extra with these boys. Well, look, elbows inside, he inside the cylinder, good strike, and a good push off inside. Look, push down. You move more with your legs than anything. Legs power. Yes, indeed. Get those quads and everything else moving. So, yes, indeed, man. Law, if we get breaking news on Shaq, you got to come back. Yeah. I definitely come back. Matter of fact, and shout out to Jazz too. The doggone Pro Bowl votes. Remember, we're not looking for those things, by the way. We're not looking for Pro Bowl votes. I don't want us to be in the Pro Bowl at all. I don't want none of our guys to be in Pro Bowl. We're not looking for attention, by the way. I don't want our guys to be in Pro Bowl. And speaking of that, got a chance to speak with 2 Live Craig. He is a quarterback / wide receiver trainer. He trained with Stephon Diggs. He also trained with multitudes of wide receivers as well as quarterbacks. We can throw names out there like Pat Mahomes of the world, as well as Trey Lance. And he also helped with Dak Prescott here and there as it relates to some training stuff. And salute to my guy, Boss Cowboy Sports. We were at SportsCon, and we talked a little bit about, Dak Prescott and his feet and everything and how he can improve, and he went over some things. So if we do have a little time, right, let's play this audio. Let me know if y'all can hear this audio.
My name is Law Nation. I got my guy, 2 Live Craig, in the building. Live, lit, ready. Talk to me, man. What we got going on so far, man?
Well, we got a lot of stuff in the works. Man, if you see us, you already know something big's about to happen.
Yes, indeed. BIG is about to happen. You've been working with a lot of players, and one of the things that I want to recap on is footwork. You was talking about how it is tied in to the West Coast principles and these sorts of things. 3-step drops, 5-step drops.
And there's one thing I've noticed is Dak's speed is better.
Yeah.
So can you explain how that translates into the game, and also how this Texas Coast, which is definitely based on feet work. I know how the West Coast 3-step is going to be short game, 5-step is going to be intermediate, 7-step going to be post, 7 routes, like long developing routes. Like, talk about the feet work in Dak Prescott.
So for me, let me just kind of make it a little more simple.
Okay.
The feet, the reason I believe, and this is just my belief, the reason I believe the feet are most important because to be able to throw the ball accurately, but to be able to actually be consistent about it, you got to have balance.
Right.
There are people like Patrick that can throw the ball from any position and be good.
Yeah.
You can throw off platform all the time, but what you notice is that his head and his eyes are always still. It's like a cheetah. When you see a cheetah run, their heads never move.
Ooh.
And that's
Big
the most
facts.
incredible piece. So for a quarterback, if you watch the feet and you watch their head movement, 9 times out of 10,
Can y'all hear the audio?
you're really going to understand whether they're mechanically something's wrong or if they're doing something right just based on their spine and their head movement.
Yeah.
Because you think about it like this. If you're trying to shoot something, right?
Right.
And you're moving your head around like this, your target moves. It's a lot harder.
Like swivel. Yeah.
So you've got to be able to keep calm feet, keep calm eyes, and understand where the target is and where you're trying to go with it.
What are some of the indicators that you can look at on Dak Prescott game that he's been improving on since the 49ers game?
You know, I think his front foot has improved significantly. You know, he's a lot more smooth.
Right.
Obviously, he's making some incredible throws, incredible reads. I think his game is just he's playing at a very, very high level, and you know, it's fun to watch him evolve, and it's fun for all of us, I guess, in Cowboy Nation to watch that and stuff.
Yeah, I know. That let us know that he's objective with his analysis, by the way.
You know, no bias here. Yeah. But Dak's incredible, man. He's going to have a strong finish to the year. I'm excited to see what happens, and I'm excited to see those Eagles again in a couple weeks.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, Craig was going over Dak Prescott improvements and how he improved altogether. And salute to 2 Live Craig. And, of course, people saw him with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers jacket on is because he's not only germane to the Cowboys, right, or only worked with the Cowboys. Although he stays here in Texas, he do work out with a plethora of other guys. And the list is longer than Shaq feet, right? And of course, he's just, you know, he loved the Cowboys now, but he do work with a lot of other teams too, by the way. So we're working and colliding some of our things together, and we're going to bring you guys the best possible things for the future. Whereas, you know, Eagles fans, they may not have access to a Julio Jones, but I do, right? You know, Eagles fans don't have access to Smitty, but I do. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how that connection works. You know, Eagles fans, all they like, yeah, man, I love A.J. Brown, man. But can you call him? You know? I'm just messing with y'all, but I can. But that's just what it is, not to flex, though. Nubian King 410 with the 199 for your mind. Appreciate you so much for your support. We thank you over here. Thank you so much for your love and adulations. Put Izzy on Metcalf. I feel you. Here's how Izzy could find himself on the team if he performed better in practice, right? And also within confines of that, I like the fact that Deron Bland is going to be on Metcalf. I do like him on wide receivers who kind of round their routes. And I'm not saying that Metcalf is a terrible route runner, but I'm saying it is that, you know, he kind of round his routes. His routes are predicated off of bullying and a bang eight. Maybe he can give you a nice fade pattern here and there. But you may win a few, but collectively, ultimately, you know, my guy, Deron Bland, is checking things out and testing things out. And then all of a sudden, you look up and that ball is passed. You get a little pressure on it. And Geno, if he can't put a little oomph on the ball, it's picked off. And it may go the distance to the other way. So it is just what it is. And I like him. The same thing, it's crazy. When I look at Trayvon Diggs tape, like when he's covering wide receivers, the same thing. I like Trayvon Diggs on bigger wide outs. I like him big on the plays. Whereas if that wide receiver is not a shifty, like a Tyreek Hill type of guy, then I don't like Trayvon Diggs on him, right? But I like Trayvon Diggs on those type of guys, right? And the same thing is with Deron Bland. I like Deron Bland on those bigger wide receivers. So we got the differences between Trayvon Diggs and Deron Bland is both of those guys bring great coverage skills set to the table, but Bland is a better tackler, in my opinion, of the game, and Trayvon Diggs is a slightly better coverage guy, and he plays pretty much in phase. Both of them do, but I do like the fact that Trayvon Diggs, if you fool around, throw a weird ball, he gonna pick it off, and the same thing with Deron Bland. We are blessed to have both of those guys. What we're seeing ultimately this year is that we have a little slight drop-off inside our nickel, right? And for what it's worth, we can all argue and say that Jordan Lewis, he ain't trash or anything. You know, Jordan Lewis doing a serviceable job at that spot. It's just that we know that, you know, we can get better. So next year, I'm quite sure if the Cowboys still may draft a DB in the second or third round, believe it or not, or I'm more of the mindset the Cowboys probably need to still look at an offensive lineman, though, by the way. But, you know, they may still draft their DB earlier. earlier in the draft. All right, so let's go, Cowboy Nation. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. I got a few minutes here. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know your opinions of everything. We're going to open up the phone lines, and before we get this day started and rocking with other information around the horn. Let's go, man. I appreciate y'all, man. The phone lines will be brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix. 657-390-7391. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this again. All of these games are must-win games. Every single game. Believe it or not, because of how everything is shaping up. Appreciate y'all. That Okoye guy, Lewis, shout out to you, fam. Action Power. Yeah. Okoye always been there. Okoye gonna always do that, man. Shoot.
There are 3 participants in the conference.
I remember Okoye fighting for Anthony Brown, man. But it's an accurate statement, though. I don't think that Jordan Lewis is playing like garbage truck juice or what have you. He just the 4th best DB on the team, and it's just what it is. But shout out to Jordan Lewis, though. I got Coach Marv. You're live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix. Talk to me, Coach.
Hey, Lawman, man. Happy belated Thanksgiving to you, man. I hope your Thanksgiving went well, man.
It went well, man. Yes, it went well. No, there's no more leftovers now. It's all done.
I got a couple of things, man. One, when you had that interview about Leonard, I had posted earlier this morning my feelings about Leonard. And it was probably spot on about what the guy had said on the interview you played. And I thought Leonard, I've been liking Leonard for a long time. I've been following Leonard since he was at Oklahoma State down here. And I thought he should have been drafted in the 5th round.
Okay.
He's been dominant ever since he was at South Carolina State, and he's a Chico magnet. And I had posed a couple of questions in my tweet. As I said, I've been liking him for a long time.
Right.
And is he the same physicality as he was in 21? If you watch him, he's not that same guy. But who is the same guy 2 years later? And then when you're dealing with back, but still, is his instinct as a linebacker help us? Well, undoubtedly, because he has an instinct of a great linebacker to get to the ball. He's a ball magnet, been a ball magnet his entire career since he's been in college. And he was a 2-star athlete coming out of college with only one offer, became a All-American Player of the Year and a draft pick and a top linebacker. Now, the real question is, will his chemistry fit, and with him knowing that he's still going to be in a linebacker rotation?
True.
True. That's the question that they're going to be real with him and say, hey, we're going to use your skill set to best fit what we need to do. You're going to make plays, but we got guys probably in a 4-man rotation or a 3-man rotation, and sometimes it's only be 2 linebackers because we're still going to put Parsons in the middle of the field and blitz him from the middle of the field, so he's all at it because that's a matchup that nobody wants, right?
Right.
And we're going to use you in a way to be effective. Now, it goes back to my tweet when this first came out.
Go ahead.
I said a long time ago that he was going to pass waivers. And it was going to come down to where Leonard wanted to play. Because the money is not going to be too much different nowhere. I don't think nobody's going to go off the board and give you a 2-year contract. Right. They know you got money already. They're going to try to sign you for the rest of this year and possibly sign you later based off how you do, right?
Right.
But it's going to be where he wants to go, where he fits for what he wants to do.
What he wants to do. He get a chance to pick out his own car, and ain't nothing wrong with that,
So if Cowboy Nation, if you want to help with this sign, like I said a long time ago, I said in one, I think it was JC Cowboy show Or I think I was talking about, I said, with the live show when we were talking about it in the Thanksgiving game, they were talking about Leonard. If Cowboy Nation, you want to help, this is how you help. All 100,000 people that are Long Nation fans, that Long Nation subscribers, go to the Jack Leonard page and say, we want you to be a Cowboy. Make your social media page jump off the charts.
Right.
So you can make all that money on the side that says Cowboy Nation wants us, and then this will sway him to say, hey, there's other money than the contract here to making Cowboy land. I want to be in Dallas.
Man, and that's the vibe. That's the deal. You know, of course, you know, one thing we don't have is the weather in Dallas, but we do have the no state taxes, of course, and we do have the vibe, the feelings, you know. And when you're out there at the Star in Frisco, everything looks nice. Everything is beautiful as far as the workout facility and beyond. You gotta schmooze them.
On what he wants to do. But you know, that's where it is, and I think he'll be a great asset. Still yet, he's gonna be a piece that's gonna fit into the puzzle. He's not a thumper. I don't want people to think that he's a thumper. He's what I call a hunter at linebacker.
A hunter,
not a guy that's gonna be a thumper, but he's a hunter. And that's what listen, he's got the instincts to hunt, and we still got a combination of linebackers that they're not playing. Even Clark playing better than he did, because I figure he'll probably play better when he got beside other people that play in a similar style that we want him to play. But again, Law, we're going into this game, and I want you to make sure that we get. I know we got a lot of concentration on Shaq Leonard, but we got to concentrate on Seattle in 2 days.
No doubt.
A good, desperate football team. They're not bad, and when they're desperate, you get the best that you're going to get out of them because their backs are against the wall.
Let me say this. Let me say this, though, Coach, before I let you go. Anything that the Cardinals were able to do to us week 3, they can absolutely replicate it with their host of running backs and their wide receivers. The only thing is Geno, he's not going to be a runner. He got that bruised elbow. So the Cowboys got to still contain him and stop them from running, because they got some dogs that can run the ball. And we tend to play the Seattle a lot in preseason, so we know some of their personnel, but they do have wide receivers that can stretch the field, that can catch the 50-50 balls, and they got running backs that can run, and they got DBs that can really make it difficult for our wide receivers if we don't get separation. So I do like the Seattle Seahawks.
I'll see this right quick. You had an interview with Metcalf, and then the question that they asked you, Metcalf, was about the Dallas Cowboy defense. The first thing that he said was the speed of Dallas Cowboy defense. So that tells me that gives me an indication what the game plan is going to be. The game plan on this defense is going to be misdirection, and if you're not disciplined, they will hurt you. The game plan on this is going to be physicality, because how you slow down speed, you be a little bit more physical on them. And we got a coach that is smart enough to know that he can't get one-dimensional, because he understands twin defense will suffocate you if you get one-dimensional.
Right.
2, he knows he's going to be overly aggressive, and he's hoping that he can get big plays with end-arounds, of diversions going one way and coming back the other way, because he thinks we're going to over-pursue. So discipline and controlling the run game is going to be the key factor in this, because Geno is better at play action than he is at drop back. If he gets the running game going, he can play action and throw those plays where he's just throwing simple. But if you make him one-dimensional, you can hunt him down and cause him to turn the ball over. But discipline in this game is going to be key defensively.
No doubt. Appreciate you, Coach Marv. Discipline, y'all write that down. Appreciate you. Thank you for calling in, Coach.
All right, Lord.
Good call from him. Yeah, so, I mean, news developing, my guy Shorts, who's an insider of the NFL, he always bring great stuff over. He always hit me up with all of that information. He kind of hit me up about a few seconds ago, and he said developing story here, sources from Bleacher Report, of course. That's who we kind of like working with now. All-Pro Darius Leonard had successfully visit with the Cowboys and is set to meet with the Eagles next. The decision is expected over the weekend, so he's going to weigh out his options and at least kick the can over there in the Eagles land. Now, remember what I said, that I saw him and Sirianni, dapping it up on one of the videos that I was looking at, trying to do some research on him. So Sirianni might have to do Sirianni a solid and be like, yeah, man, I'm going to check out Dallas. I'm going to see what they got, weighing out my options. And Sirianni was probably like, hey, we coached together, man. I coached you, man. And basically he was a wide receivers guy, but hey, man, we know each other, man. How Pookie and Ray doing, or the kids, and he probably had that relation, so out of favor, he gonna fly up that way and check them out. And now, granted, if you're looking to be on a contender team, and I know some Cowboy fans would not like me when I say that, but you just can't turn down a 10-1 team, right? You go have to at least see what they got, right? See what they're offering. Money is not a problem over there in the Eagles. They know how to work out contracts. They know how to schmooze you a little bit. And, for example, Jalen Hurts, he probably hit him up, man. Hey, man, we both same frats, man. Let's talk, man. Let's talk about it. Let's wrap it up. You know what I'm saying? You old head, I'm new head, all of their heads. You know what I'm saying? They might have a sit down and have barbecue and talk about that stuff. So that's how deals go, man. Shoot, let me tell you what's going on over here. You can't just not even show love to me. So that's just how that goes, too. So he's going to fly out to doggone Eagles, land, and see what's going on there. Now, if you are an Eagle fan, you're gonna say, ain't no way Howie is gonna let that go. You might as well put the doggone green and white on them, or whatever the colors are. So that's just what it is. And Philly has been known to close deals a whole lot faster than the Cowboys, because we come with the approach that we don't seek the attention like that, and we are not finna we're not finna give you that what you're looking for. We're gonna say, well, hey, that's our final offer. We ain't finna raise it. So that's just how it goes. So we'll find out more down the line, man, on how all of that shake out. Y'all know how it is, man. So hey, we need all of the I guess the people that root for the Cowboys to do like what Coach Marv said and see if we can show him a good time. All right, so I got
the conference has been locked.
I got my guy from East Coast Cowboy, Dwight. You're live on the Nation. Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Yo, what's up, Lord? What's happening, man? How you doing?
Not much, man. Doing good. So I heard Darius, he's heading out your way. So, man, just show up at the Eagles facility and don't let him in the building.
Yeah, I was just. It's funny you say that, because I'm on the I'm in Texas now.
You moved. Oh, so you living in Texas now?
Yeah, I've been here. I'd say about 3.5 years, I guess. I've been in Houston for like 3 years.
Oh, okay.
But I was in the Dallas Fort Worth for like almost a year.
Well, I got you down here East Coast there, though.
Yeah, that's what, because I called you before.
Right.
And I told you that's what they call me, is East Coast, because that's where I'm from. I'm from the DMV.
Oh, you just from that area. So you call your people, man. Let them know. Don't let them in the building then.
Yeah, I told my people, I told my son about it. I told him, I said, make sure you hold it down.
Yes, indeed. You still use GPS? You still use GPS to get around Dallas, or you kind of know the terrain now?
Man, Houston is big, man.
Yeah.
Man, I'm a truck driver, so I deliver chemicals and stuff or whatever. But yeah, man, Houston is big, bro.
Yeah, it is. So Houston is big with terrible roads, though, man. Houston got the worst road they ever doing construction and building this and building that. I said, when they gonna be finished, man? They owe me a couple of tires and stuff, man.
Yeah. My wife, she don't even like driving in on the highways. She's like, man, it's an accident here every day. She's like, man, look, I'm going to just stay on the side roads.
Yeah, man, she right, man. But what you got, man? What you got, bro? What you got for me?
Just wanted to touch bases on what you were saying about, because like I said, I talked to a couple of my folks from back home, man, and it's like it's the same thing like what you're hearing, man, how everybody's saying that we didn't play anybody. But my thing is, how is it that they keep saying we ain't play nobody, but didn't just last year the Eagles split with Washington, and didn't they have a hard time with Washington this year? Yeah. And I mean, and it's like it's so many teams. And I saw this thing on YouTube, man. Well, this guy had pulled this thing up. If you might get a chance to check it out. Some guy on YouTube, man, he had like 40. He showed this thing where he looked up like 40 different. He showed 40 different penalties that the Eagles had on us, man. I'm like, come on, man. And then when they played the other day, how in the world did you grab Josh Allen by the back of the jersey and that's not a horse collar?
Yeah, I mean, and then I listened to Michael Parsons' show, and they asked he raised that same question on podcast Parsons' show, The Edge. Yeah. And he was like, well, he was inside the tackle box. I'm like, nah, Parsons, you got to watch that. He was on the outside of the tackle box. So that didn't help our case right there. We wanted to tell Parsons, like, nah, man, he was on the outside. But here's the truth, though. And I'm going to be real with you, man. In the last 29 games, Hurts is 27-2.
Right.
He is literally he's 27-2. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm just pointing out the things here, you know. On teams like he got a great, like, the beautiful resume, bro. You know, teams above 500, he's 14-0 right now. You see what I'm saying? So in the last 2 years, so he's 14-0 in the last 2 years on teams above 500. And the only reason why I know all of this because I'm finna debate the doggone Eagles people, right? So I do homework, right? I look at everything, and I'm sitting here saying, is it because of him or is it because of the collective team? Is it because of the aficionados? I can't have the argument because of the aficionados. Know why? Because that's just like a straw man's argument. That's losing ground argument. Nobody want to hear that. They want to hear the results. So right now, they figure out ways to win. And if Dak was 27-2, you know, don't you know I'll be running around here? Yeah, 27-2. You know, come see me, you know, in the last so many visits or what have you. So it is what it is, fam.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what I said. I commend you on your great job, man. You and Sky and all them boys, man. Yeah. But I mean, like I said, man, it's just being a Dallas fan, man, since like the early 70s. I'm 55 years old, man. I think I've been a Dallas fan since like 71, 72.
Yeah.
So I mean, I see a lot of crazy stuff, man. And like I said, and I've seen a lot of the plays and his stats and stuff. But as far as an all around and seeing the whole field and stuff like that, I don't see him as being better than Dak.
Oh no.
He sees the whole field, and it's like, I don't know, man. It's like everybody's just so hateful on Dak because I believe because he was a fourth rounder, and then two, because he got that star on the side of his helmet. I mean, if you strip the star away from his helmet and you don't look at him being a fourth rounder, I mean, I really think that he is the best quarterback in the NFC East because, I mean, he shows it time and time again. It's just a couple of bad plays. When we played him, if it wasn't for the stepping out and then that crazy pass in the first they called on Gilmore, man, that's crazy.
Yeah. So you're right.
Plays and stuff. But that one play that they tackled my man Schoon in the end zone, that one video that I was talking about, they even showed it. The ball was in the air, and the dude had his arms around him, tackling him, and his knees was on the ground before the ball even got there.
Right. And I know his video. You talking about that dude with the 40? Man, that dude should have a million subscribers and a million views on that. But you know, but you know how that goes, man. I don't like saying the NFL is rigged, but we know, we know for sure that it's manipulated, right? Like for example, Sean Hockley, now the dude that officiated the Eagles game, right? When he is the official, they are now 5-0. You know, so is that by coincidence?
That lives around Philly. Heard is one of them that was from Philly.
Right. So is that by chance? You know what I'm saying? Or that just, hey man, the Eagles just good when he's out there. So it's so many ways we can look at that. For example, even if you don't like Michael Parsons, even if you can't stand Michael Parsons, and you can't stand the Cowboys, Out of 11 games, this dude got literally 2 holds. Like that's not even that don't even sound right. You know what I'm saying? Like Parsons literally in the last 11 games, y'all write this down. He only got 2 holding calls, right? So it's crazy. It's crazy.
I'm glad you brought that up, and I'll let you leave. I'll let you roll out on this one. That's what I don't like, is because it's like I'm watching him and I hear his podcast, and it's like I'm watching the game, just like the one game that we was playing when we played against Philly. The daggone ref was standing right there when Parsons got held, and he was upset because he didn't throw the flag. I'm like, come on, man. And when he cut in the middle, man, that one, the center, number 62, man, he grabbed Parsons around his neck, man. I'm like, how you don't call a holding penalty on that?
Yeah.
This dude played tackling.
Yeah, so it's just what it is, man. And there's no way you can give – I thought about, bro, like can the NFL try to get, maybe the officials to be full-time? And then people say, well, they'll make them even more biased, right? Or, can you have calls to be reviewed that make the game too long, right? So, and all I'm saying is just when we play the game, just call it both ways. That's all we want. Just call it both ways. If you're going to call that, then call it both ways or let them play and just stay out of it. But I remember Sean Hockley, dad, Ed Hockley. So I know for sure the NFL got some type of stuff going on with lineage. You know what I'm saying? Like he passed on, because Ed Hockley, he made it about himself. He used to have the big old python, the guns and stuff, looking like Hulk Hogan out there. And he flexed every time he know that he's going to be on prime time. I used to hate when we see Ed Hockley. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because but I know he made it about him and his tight shirts, So the NFL is strange, bro. It is what it is.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna let you roll on that one. Like I said, man. I'm out here on the East Coast, man. Hopefully, I'm gonna get down there one day with my boys and stuff. Cause I got a 28-year-old son and I got a son that's 50. So I got 5 kids, man.
No doubt,
so
man.
My two boys or whatever, man. We're gonna try to come out there and fellowship with you guys, man. Shake your hand or something.
No doubt, man. Appreciate that, East Coast. Appreciate you, man.
Love the good work, man.
Appreciate you, man. So because if we talk about the officials, they're gonna say, man, these whiny crybaby Cowboy fans, they just cry, they whine, they moan, and all of that stuff. So I thought that I would take it and just give y'all some observation analysis via the Twitter after a win. And these sorts of things. I didn't think that people will even look at it in that light. You know what I'm saying? So after a win, they can't use the excuse, well, he just complaining. You know what I'm saying? I'm explaining and I'm not complaining. And I think I had the video right here. I went over. Stir up the pot, but to just bring awareness. Yeah, just bring awareness, man. Hold on. Here you go. I didn't mean to, I'm not trying to stir up the pot. I'm just trying to bring awareness. Like there's a clear, obvious hand to the face right there. I get it. We beat the brakes off the doggone Washington team, right? We beat the brakes off of those boys. But this was the perfect time for me to just point out the fact that, no calls. No calls at all against Parsons, or however that statement goes. Parsons wasn't getting a call at all. And we can go through, I can do the Eagles like this. I can do the Chiefs not the Chiefs, but the Eagles, whoever we played, the Giants. We can do the Niners game. We can do the Cardinals game. There was 14 calls on us, man, in the Cardinals game. 14 calls, 14 penalties. Shoot. All right, I got Darius from the 214. You're live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix. Talk to me.
Lotto, one thing I'm going to say is that lately that Howie Roseman have been running circles around Jerry. But I do want to commend Jerry for starters, for doing what he's been doing. We've been begging and pleading and asking, can he please put Jimmy Johnson in the Ring of Honor, and he did it.
Yeah, he did.
Much love. Much appreciation. The curse has been lifted. But going forward for the team, all will be answered. We got 5 big games coming up. So it ain't gonna be none of this who y'all Y'all ain't played nobody over a winning record, or they ain't had a winning record or above 500 record. The pedal to the metal will be stumped down this coming up forward, and we gonna see. It ain't gonna be no more complaining about we ain't playing against nobody. You will see what type of team you have right now in these upcoming games.
Yeah.
Seattle is a quality team.
Yeah.
You will be able to see what type of team you have, and you will go up against quality teams coming up in these next 5 or 6 games.
Yeah, yeah, and just to be 1,000, let me just say this, because one guy said, like, if we go back to the Eagles game, I know it's in the past, week 9 or what have you, they said, well, there were missed calls on that. We get all of that, right? Right there, you get all of that, right? But never been a situation whereas I hit you in your face, I grab your mask, I throw the flag, right? Then all of a sudden, we look left, look right, let's pick that up. Those are the things that are more crucial in a game. I get it. There's going to be missed calls in games, but what we're saying is on critical plays, just call the game the same way. There shouldn't have been cloth thrown on the ground when my running back all of a sudden busts a 24-yard play, and then all of a sudden there's cloth out there. And then when you look back at the tape, that play, regardless, it didn't have nothing to do with the fact that this dude was going to run that ball regardless, you know. So those are things that I guess really kind of like get people angry and upset, or when the aficionados decide to throw the flag in the moments, in it critical situations. Just like, for example, to take a touchdown off twice, right, for the illegal formation, because they said that the guy didn't check in, but clearly he did check in, right? And there's nowhere in the rule book says X, Y, and Z that he got to do it a certain way, but now it's amended. So those things brings up a raising of the eyebrows up in games. Not saying that the Cowboys didn't have their chances, but what we're saying is that the aficionados are making it much more about them. That's what we were saying, basically. And can you agree with that, Darius? You know,
I agree. I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah,
I agree with what you're saying. But normally, I try to stay away from the
official.
I try to stay away from like the flags and the referees type of thing, because it's like
it's a lose-lose argument. It's a lose-lose argument, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I just would rather us just. Like how we've been beating up on these teams, like these past 3 or 4 games, and you notice it ain't been no like super like crazy referee calls. We ain't been really talking about the refs, that much. Other than what you're talking about with Michael Parsons, like the refs haven't played a big role in the outcome of our games these past few games. I just would rather us win like that instead of us having to lean on. The ref didn't call this. The ref didn't call that. The ref.
Right.
Me personally, I stay away from that.
You got to, because, and I'm gonna go. You watch basketball. I know you watch a few basketball, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm all over the place with basketball. I don't got no team with basketball.
Well, this is a good analogy. Then there's no way the Chicago Bulls would have beat the Pistons if they didn't change the rule, right? That Pistons team would beat Jordan. They were literally, we're going to make it a fight. We're going to put hands, elbows on you. We're going to kneel you in the ground. We're going to put you. But they said that, no, we got one of the better players in the league who's phenomenal. We need to see this dude in a championship for the betterment of the league. They went and changed some rules up. So I get it. The same thing with offense versus defense. We know that the favor is always going to be on the doggone offensive side of the coin. So you got to dominate on offense, and you got to also score when necessary. Mike McCarthy. The league probably didn't like that little check down Charlie stuff, right? We don't like to see death of 1,000 cuts. You're going to have to open this up. And when you open it up a little bit, we'll give you some favorable calls. We will start leaning toward certain things. So the Cowboys, in order to in this league, they're going to have to be more of an offensive-minded team. But when necessary, they're going to have to take the ball away in order to get things going. And the Cowboys, they are a team that got to win in that fashion. They can't win it. They can't make it a close game because what's going to happen? The aficionados going to have their hands too much in it. So how we did the Washington team and how we did the Giants team and how we did any other team, we're going to have to defeat the opposing team absolutely. We can't leave it into the hands of the officials. And that's been my battle cry all year. All year. You got to beat the teams out absolutely. But go ahead, bro.
That's all you gotta do, and that's my main point. We finna come up against some really good teams. These few coming up, these few weeks coming up or whatever. Hey, we gonna figure out what type of team we got. I'm telling you right now, you nobody gonna be able to say we didn't play against nobody because these 5 teams we got coming up: Miami, the Bills, the Eagles, and the Seahawks, and then the Lions. Those are all quality teams. It's time to get to it. It's time to get to it.
Yeah, let's get it, man. Appreciate you, Darius. Hey. And then when that happens, then when we get into that next level, then you and I are going to have our conversation. You know what I'm saying about judging Mike McCarthy.
That's why I ain't said
Did you remember the bet? What was the bet, though? Know. What was the bet, though, bro, before I let you go?
I don't know if we had a bet on it. Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did have something.
So this was the agreement. Mike McCarthy has to make it to the NFC Championship, and if he has to look good in the NFC Championship. Don't be the reason why we lost. Right. Okay, so if he makes it, then I give you money to your favorite restaurant. Yeah. You said Ruth. You said Ruth Razzoos or something like that.
I like Razzoos, but I like that Del Frisco, man. I'm loving that tomahawk steak. Yeah, Del Frisco. Yeah.
You said Del Frisco. Yeah. And then if he doesn't make it, I get a free Law Nation hoodie or something.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Just throw me whatever you feel like throwing me, but I get something for free.
Okay, I got you, man. I can't wait to eat that Del Frisco, boy. Woo! Yeah. Appreciate you, man. I'm gonna run that tab all the way up, man. I'm gonna give me a tomahawk about the size of my back, boy. I'm gonna make sure my beard is full. Ooh, they got this doggone mac and cheese. Del Frisco, man. Hey, you know, if you taking a girl to Del Frisco on the first date, let me know, because you don't got that Cheesecake Factory money, man. But that Del Frisco, ooh, but that tomahawk steak, boy, I'm telling you, I can't wait to eat it, though. I'm gonna get that tomahawk, baby. Y'all know how it goes. I got the 267. You're live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix. Talk to me.
Law Nation, what's going on, boss?
Hey, man, all is well. Can't complain at all.
Tell you this, man. I don't really get into the politics because they don't apply the same metrics to dollars. Whatever happened to it's a division game and division opponents play each other tough. Whatever happened to that? Everybody get that but us.
Right. Divisional game, take records, throw it out the window type of talk. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then on top of that, how many other teams play division opponents? I think the Lions just played the Packers. They in the same conference division.
Yeah, they're division. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers used to beat up on the Lions every year.
This year, right?
Yeah.
But why the hell they ain't beat them by 30? I'm just saying we doing what we supposed to do. When you a top dog like we a top dog, you supposed to beat the bottom guys how we doing it. Mm-hmm. But they don't want to acknowledge that. You know what I mean? They don't want to acknowledge that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to give you my one key to success for us this year. The last 2 years, offense, we started off hot. We was rolling. Second half, the back half of the season, we kind of was in spots okay, but we wasn't us. The defense was the defense, but when we get to the playoffs, I guess they fizzled out. The good thing with this year, what makes this year different from last year and the year before,
go get it.
The offense started off slow.
Yeah, go get it.
Right now we're rolling.
Yeah.
We're rolling going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And the defense, collectively, is playing good, but we still ain't playing our version of ball. We got games where we are the hot boys, as I should call it, right?
Yeah.
We got games where we the hot boys.
Yeah.
We ain't playing every week. But the best thing about it is we still iron out the kinks.
Man, we haven't peaked yet. Yeah. And so
we ain't peaked yet.
So both of us like around this time last year we were both 8-3. I believe that this 8-3 team will whoop the brakes off last year's team.
Oh, for sure.
I believe we'll beat 2021 team. We'll beat the brakes off. This 8-3 team, boy, look, people fail to realize in 2021 that was our first year back from coming from being the worst defense in NFL history, or in Cowboys history for sure. And so in 2021, we were still trying to figure out, like, damn, Dan Quinn, the magic man over here. He got our defense from the 31st to the 32nd ranked defense down to the 12th or 15th ranked. So we was high, you know what I'm saying? We were John Legend high. And then 2022, the expectations was like, hey, Dan Quinn just needed a few little pieces, but we were stubborn. All we had to do was just make one or two moves in 2022, like another DB, by the way, you know, and a solid linebacker, and we'd have been okay on defense then, you know. But that's a whole nother conversation. But now they at least got that other DB that we needed, you know. And of course we got hurt with Trayvon Diggs, but our secondary, we probably one of the best in the league right now in secondary.
For sure.
Yeah.
We might be the best. I'm going to be honest. Ain't nobody doing it like we doing it. But I'm going to tell you, because we gave up the first 100-yard receiver just last game.
Just last game.
Beat 10.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then we already know what Bland doing, you know.
Right.
So we got the best defensive backfield, hands down.
Yeah.
Miami close second. Now, what I will say, right, is if you look very closely, that game where he only threw for 100 and something yards, it wasn't a bad game. He had a good game. What I believe happened, was that Carolina? I believe it was Carolina.
Yeah.
They played kind of tough. The thing is, I felt like we felt as though we were a more superior team, and we wanted to try some wrinkles out, like as far as plays go for offense, because we're getting our stuff ready for the playoffs. So we want to go in the playoffs with 10 to 15 plays that ain't nobody seeing yet on tape, which I like.
Yeah.
So I felt like what happened was we was trying too much. We were stalling out on drives. But Mike McCarthy turned into the old Mike McCarthy and then tried to, let's say, walk away with the game. He tried to meticulously run and do the little dink and duck just to try to win the game instead of dialing it back up. And, you know, our offense is predicated on stretching the field. But if you watch the Carolina game, we went back to that underneath stuff and, you know, hurry up and get the ball out, and it just wasn't working. We just couldn't click and get in the groove.
Yeah, did you listen to that press conference, that presser? Or I think it was one of the announcer guys. They were saying that Mike McCarthy, after they spoke to him, that dude was doing installments for the Thanksgiving Day game that Thursday. You know what I'm saying? And we had to still play the doggone Carolina team. So here's how I look at it, though. Dog, that's preparation. That's being prepared. We ain't used to that stuff, man. You know, we used to, like, okay, the week of, then we going to prepare. You know what I'm saying? Like, right now, they would have been doing, like, Seattle Seahawks work, you know, trying to look up tape. Them dudes already been on that, you know, yesterday and the day before that. So I do like the preparation that Mike McCarthy is bringing to the table. And I get it. That Carolina's game, it was a lot of underneath, it was a lot of vanilla stuff. But they kind of figured that they was going to win that game.
Football, and that's why that game, everybody was like, well, what's going on with that? Nothing. We was trying to do stuff for the upcoming weeks. It wasn't working, and then we ended up going to our original off-season with trying to not put too much wear and tear on the players and walk away with the game. But Carolina...
Oh, man, your phone messing up, bro, but I appreciate you. Thank you for calling in, man. Thank you. Good call from him, man. Real good call from him. And I know y'all get what I'm dishing out, right? You know, we got a super chat before we get too far down the line. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the super chat. Let me read the super chats. Appreciate y'all. Pause for the calls right here. Cerebral Assassin says, but how can we get up on them? And if the refs are stopping your drives when you have the momentum law? Yeah, that's something right there. And that's good. That's a really good cerebral thought track right there. Let me pull it up so everybody can see it. And I really appreciate y'all. It's kind of like, I hate to say it, like middle school and high school. When you playing on the road, right? When you go on the road, coach will say, hey, man, they're going to throw their eggs. They're going to throw the rocks at you. The officials, you know, they stay in that town. You know how the stuff goes from a small city. You're going to have to dominate. What you're going to have to do is no self-sabotaging, assassin. That's a real good super chat. We can't have delay of games on our end. We can't have the offside penalties, the false starts. We can't call a bull sugar play. We got to play to our max capable ability. We got to be perfect. Because what they do is they look at us and they literally, a play that may go uncalled here in Cowboys land that should have been called and it's pointed out. For example, there have been tiki torches. There would have been, fire and brimstones if what the Eagles been doing, if the Cowboys been doing it, right? Because they would then say Jerry Jones is a very polarizing figure, right? He's a very guy that's out in the forefront. People will be saying that the Cowboys are buying the Super Bowl. They are trying to cheat the system. So they can't show that much favor for the Cowboys team if that was the case in the scenario. We can't have games that we play multiple times out of a season, whereas it's been 10 penalties on the opposing team and only one on our side. Because if you think the 4-ladder, the 3-ladder networks got narratives, baby, they will have a gang of narratives if that happened any game. So we're going to be mostly penalized. We're going to be heavy as the crown. We are not going to get the benefit of the doubt, right? When those type of things happen, unfortunately, that's just what it is. So what we got to do is we got to score on drives that we supposed to score on. We can't settle for the field goal. And our field goal kicker, when he do kick the ball, he can't miss. He can't.
Sidney Jones, $10. Dallas will go into Philly postseason and get the win. I'm not even a little worried. Smiley face. DC4L.
Shout out to you, Sidney. Thank you for your support and your love and adulation for the nation. Yes, indeed. Yes, Cowboys are with Bull Sugar. Shaq leaves meeting with no deal. Well, we'll find out, man. We'll find out. I got the next caller on the line. I got from the 817. You're live on the nation. Brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix. Talk to me.
Hey, what's up, Law?
Not much. Not much at all.
He on it.
Hello.
Yo, what's good? Talk to me. You're live on the nation.
What's going on, Law?
Not much, man. Ventriloquist, man. You had two voices over there,
I'm sorry. I'm out here working in the field, man, but
okay.
I tune in every time. So I had to chime in on what everyone was saying. And I respect and agree with pretty much everyone is saying about Shaq and how we got to stay focused on the game at hand. And it'll be lovely to have him on the team, but let the chips fall where they make when it comes to that stuff. Especially that situation. What I do believe, man, is I've been in DFW my whole life, man, and it's beautiful out here. It's mansions in almost every subdivision. Get it from here, and it's the perfect place to raise a family.
Yeah.
So when you look at Shaq and his career and what he's done, thus far, he's ready. He's ready to retire and raise his family in Philadelphia, especially up northeast. That ain't nowhere to raise nobody, man. So hopefully, he go take a look and see what Howie and them have to say, and
Yeah, he's 27, 28 years. He's still young. He's still a young guy, right? And he got 4 or 5 more years left in him. And granted, if you want to give him grace for the 2022 season and say, okay, well, this season, all right, he's turning the corner. He averaged about 10 tackles a game. What you want out of Darius Leonard is the brain, right? The mindset. You want to know what he knows in his head, that how he can get there before anyone else, right? And you want to replicate that on the field, and that's what linebackers do. And if I'm a linebacker in the National Football League, I would put it to those 3 teams. It will be, I will make a selection out of the Cowboys, the Eagles, or the 49ers. I will have my choices. But him in the 49ers land, that's already owned by Fred. Fred looking at it like, that's my baby right there. I ain't going to let you. Yeah.
Yeah. But like I say, man, it'll be lovely to have him, man, but let the chips fall where they may. Now,
True.
When it comes to the South, when they come to Seattle, Dan Quinn spent a lot of time up there. He spent a lot of time with some of the guys that's still there.
Yeah.
And, so I believe, man, that, we'll pull this thing on out. I don't believe it's going to be close. When I watched that last 49ers game, I kind of seen that Geno, you put some pressure on him, man, he kind of just gives up.
Yeah,
and man, we pressure the quarterback, and the offensive line is not. It's not. In my opinion, their offensive line is worse than Washington is. And you've seen what we did to Sam Howell.
Well, Charles Cross ain't out there anymore. What he doing? He crisscrossing.
it's just film.
He ain't panning out.
What I've seen on film, and what I've seen these other teams, put pressure on Geno. I mean, Sam Howell is the most sacked quarterback again, but man, I don't see Geno really running out of the pocket like he used to. Making plays. That's what I'm seeing on film. And so when you got Hill back there and you got Damone Clark back there, these some young guys with some speed on them. So Geno, he's up in age, and if you trying to run sideline to sideline, them guys gonna get you. Yeah. And I just don't see nobody slowing this defensive line down anytime soon. I mean, you seen what we did to Jalen Hurts. We almost knocked him out of the game. So when it comes to this Seattle team, man, I believe we're more than prepared. I believe we're ready. We're fit for it. We're fit for the fight, and we're gonna take it one game at a time. I love what Mike McCarthy is doing with Dak Prescott. It kind of showing me like a glimpse of what he did. Now, when I say this, don't think I'm comparing Aaron Rodgers to Dak Prescott or Dak Prescott.
Right.
But when you look at what Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy did over the years that they were together, it was kind of a freedom. Like Mike told Aaron Rodgers, "I trust you. I trust that you're gonna make the right decisions. I trust that you." And when you look at Dak Prescott play over these last few weeks, it's kind of similar. He's trusting Dak. I'm dialing up this play, but hey, Dak, if you got to run outside the pocket and make something happen, do it. If you got to do a scramble drill, get it done. Get it, whatever it's taking. So I'm loving. And Kellen Moore was kind of just, a typical.
I mean, he's still wet behind the ear, and right now, Kellen Moore should be entering in quarterback coaching, right, quarterback coaching. Right. And then he should be right now getting his first wave at attempting to call a few plays. But he had acceleration boost. One could argue right now, Kellen Moore should be still in the league, instead of being anybody's coordinator if he was any good. But I would say this, though, some people get accelerations faster than others. And I'm quite sure that even Kellen Moore may be the next head coach or interim coach for the Chargers. I won't put that past him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you may be on to something. I was watching somebody. I don't know. I'm not going to take up all your time. But I was watching somebody's show. I forget who it was, but they were saying that this year's Dak is the actual. We haven't really seen Dak play fully without any injury, fully healthy since 2019. Because 2020 he had the accident. With his leg and his ankle.
Just knocking on some good old wood over here,
Yeah. We're gonna do that. We're gonna continue to do that. But I mean, what we're seeing is, in my opinion, this is 2016 Dak. I'm pretty. He's wiser. Don't get me wrong. He's making. He's wiser than what he once was. With experience and everything. But man, we haven't seen this full healthy Dak like we're seeing right now, and it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful ball being played on the offensive side. Granted that there's going to be kinks and stuff that we got to get together, like you say, the referee calling. But when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, the most sought out team, for any player to go to. We know the relationship of Jerry and Roger Goodell. They don't really get along with each other. So when you look at the officiating, man, you got to take it for what it is. And like you say, you beat a team by 10 points. You don't got to worry about a referee.
You gonna have to get in front of it and teach your team, to study the officials to a degree, what they like to call on, or not necessarily your team, or you got staff members, man. All of the analytical people go down, pre-talk to these officials, man, and say, hey, I noticed that when XYZ player, he tend to reach and grab this particular pad when he do this swim move. Just pay attention to that, So and this guy like to lay on me after the play. So not complaining, just explaining. So maybe they can just bring awareness. I think some of the veteran players do sit there and do like a 4 or 5 minute conversation with the officials before the game. Right. Yeah, see what they can and can't do. But I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for calling in, fam.
Yes, sir, man. Have a blessed one. Peace.
No doubt, man. No doubt. And to be fair to the officials, some of them don't. They may over. This is me being objective. Some of them may understand that this is a primetime game. Everybody's going to watch me call this game, and I got to call the game without mistakes, right? Or I got to, even though I see something, I don't want to make it ticky-tacky. And sometimes they will overanalyze too. Overanalyzation is a major flaw in a lot of people in life. Some people refuse to even start their own YouTube page or talking to a camera, maybe because they got a stuttering, pattern. Maybe because they may not look up to par, right? Maybe because, it could be a situation where they don't want to, they're too shy, but they know a lot about sports and all of this stuff, but they overanalyze the situation. There are many people right now watching my show that's way better than me, but their only problem is they can't do this. They can't press that record button, right? There's many people right now that watch my show that get all type of good stuff at the crib, but they just didn't hit that press button, They just didn't hit power, And I'm not perfect. I'm terrible, you know what I'm saying? But I continue to fight, continue to go through this thing and process. I started this YouTube page technically in 2013, but my first video is not until 2016, right? So that's 3 years of me sitting back. I could be far ahead of myself if I'd have started 3 years earlier. Man, God, dog, y'all just look at it. Can you just imagine that? So even me, sometimes you overanalyze the situation. Now I look back at it, I said, man, I didn't give y'all 3 years of great stuff. I could have been 3 years ahead of myself. But it is what it is. Man, I missed the gravy train in 2014. We were winning in 14, wasn't we? But neither here nor there. I got my guy VIP, then I got Mark, and then we're going to close out with MJ. So VIP, you're live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks. You're in the mix. Talk to us. You're live.
Lord VIP, baby. Yes, my indeed. Voice is brought to you by Prize Picks. Lord, shout out to Twin. Y'all had a lot of fun the other day when you were Twin, man. I think I got like 20 inboxes about that Slurpee talk. But we're not going to talk about the Slurpees today. We're leaving the Slurpees out of the conversation. Is that all right, Law?
That's fine with me, man. Let's get back to football. Yeah, so we no slurps,
Yeah. But they're out here, Law. But it's funny, Law, that we don't hear from the Slurpees until a hiccup, Law. You know what, Law? I took this analogy out for them, and this is the last time I'm going to speak on it. If you and your wife go to a beach, Law, you ever been to a beach, Law, with your wife?
Yeah.
Okay, so you take it. Now, we're married to this thing. We're married to our quarterback. Are we not, Law?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're going to the beach with your wife, and you're married to your wife, and she has on a swimsuit, and another lady walks by with the same swimsuit, and she looks a little bit better in her swimsuit to your wife, do you say to your wife, well, damn, you need to get in the gym, you need to do some crunches, because look at that bathing suit.
Hey, man, you put me in
That is how, when
cooker.
You critique my quarterback, your quarterback, if you claim the Cowboys, that's the same analogy you should be looking at. So after hearing that, Law, if you're still critiquing my quarterback, you have your own issues. That means you have inner issues, like I said, that you want to pour your insecurities out on Law Nation. So I'm going to leave you all alone, seek a therapist, but I do know this. Keep VIP name out your mouth. I don't care if your name is Riverside what or Brandon. Please keep. If you want to talk to me, I have started my own page. It's the All Love Show VIP. You can come holler at me anytime, but don't talk about my quarterback or I'll be on your heels.
Man,
with that being said,
bro.
I'm loving the Shack, but look, I don't window shop. I'm not a window shopper. If he's coming in, come on in. If you're going to Philly, B, I might meet you at the airport, man. I might have to meet you at the airport and holler at you. Because you'll come in my backyard and finesse my Cowboys, get us all worked up. And then you going to Philly? You going to the Philly girls? Nah, man, we not doing that, Lord. Lord, we not doing that, Lord.
He's doing his people a solid, man. Sirianni and of course Jalen Hurts and Darius, they both frat brothers. So you know how it is. He's a young bro, so he's like, hey, he come check me out. Come check me out, big bro. Just at least do that for me. That's probably what it's just probably what it is, man. You know. For example, VIP, if Twin Maker is somehow in your city, in your state, and I pick up the phone and say, hey VIP, man, you know, I know you don't rock with the Niners like that, but my brother in town, show him around, man. Show him. Take him to the VIP lounge, man. You know.
I got him covered.
You got him covered. That's just what that is. You know what I'm saying? And then you hit me up and say, hey, Law, man, I'm with Twin Maker, man. You know, his son done already changed his mind. But, hey, man, after he done hung out with me, man, I see Twin Maker with a doggone silver and blue on. Boy, I'll shed a tear. If the day I see Twin Maker with a star, boy, don't you know, I'll shed some tears. So you might be able to be that guy to change his mind just a little bit. So that's what they trying to do with Darius Leonard over there. You know, that's what they trying to do, bro.
I got you. I'm gonna send Twin Maker home with a blue scarf, a blue star. You're gonna be like, who is this? His son, your nephew gonna be so happy.
Your nephew gonna be happy. Yeah. And truth be told, you know, the blue look better on him anyway. He'll look better. You know, he will flat out, the beard will pop, even though his beard's bigger than mine. But pause. But you know, even though, I can't recover from that. But even though it is what it is, you know, he will look better in blue. Y'all let Twin Maker know that he will look better with the silver and blue. Yes, indeed. Let's go. Appreciate you for calling in, man. Appreciate you.
Lord, my last thing I'm going to say, Lord, I just want us to take one game at a time. And I read something, Lord, and I was reading this research that, you know, the average head coach takes a 15 plays into the first series. You know, our head coach, he draws up 20. So he got 20 plays scripted up. My only problem, Lord, is I need you to focus on that third quarter script. If we can score in the third quarter, Lord, look, if we can score in the third quarter, Lord, I don't think none of these games will be as close as they are. If I went back and watched all our games in the third quarter, I don't think we scored a point, Lord, in almost a month and a half in the third quarter.
Man, we gonna have to get better in that third quarter. I'm gonna go back and revisit third quarters too, man, and see what's going on with it. Maybe they need to call up Law, give a halftime speech or something, you know, put somebody in there. Playmaker, maybe put the Michael Irvin in the halftime speech somewhere so we can score. And I'll be looking for it in this game too Thursday night. Appreciate you so much for calling in, VIP.
And tell Jerry to get up today. Have Megan up there or somebody other than Dolly Parton. You might knock the Dolly, but look, get some Megan, get me some B. If you want to get a real halftime show, Jerry, I don't need your personal fantasies. That's another thing, Jerry. I need your personal fantasies poured out to halftime. Give me a halftime I want to see. Law, how about damn Cowboys? I ain't a killer, but don't push me, B.
Yes, indeed, man. I don't know, man. Megan, I think she belongs to Houston, though. But I feel what he's saying. What other Dallas female artists do we have that's of that kind of caliber to do a halftime show? And on top of that, you know, to my guy VIP, you know, on the beach. If you on that beach, man, with your lady and everything, y'all just got to be smooth with it, you know, baby. You can have my heart, but not my eyes. That's what you got to say. You can have my heart, but not my eyes. Ain't that right? 256, you live on the Nation, man. Talk to me, man. Brought to you by Prize Picks. You live.
Lord, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. Talk to me, man.
Hey, man. Happy holidays to everyone listening. Too bad it took me a month to get back on here. But one thing I would like to talk about, first of all, shout out to Deron Bland for setting that NFL record. That was something amazing. I didn't expect to see that.
Yeah.
Been hearing a lot of crazy stuff going around. You know how people going to be a little envious. You know, our Cowboys catch a lot of flack anyway. That's going to be the way it is, you know, and it's always been that way. But I went back and looked at some tape on Bland, and when he was at Fresno State, and he had pretty much the same thing at Fresno State. You know, I didn't look to see what year it was, but one particular game, he intercepted a pass deep in the end zone, and he took it from one end zone to the other.
Yep.
For 6.
Yep, he did.
That's just his pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
That's his pedigree. So I said all that to say this. There's a difference. People are blaming the opposing quarterback, saying, well, why did he throw that ball? He threw a bad ball. Man, let me tell you something. The last 2 picks that Bland has had against Carolina and also Thanksgiving Day against Washington, those actually were some pretty good, well-thrown balls.
Yep.
What people don't understand if you've never played the game, you stop looking for touchdowns and sacks and sometimes look at the interior of the game. What he did, and having played the same position at Fresno State myself, what he did was he didn't get on top of the route because Bland is not that type of player. He undercuts the route, and he does lay off, and he closes quicker than opposing quarterbacks think he does. So, and in fact, you're showing tape now.
Yeah, I went and pulled that Fresno tape. I remember doing the analysis breakdown of his ability to undercut routes and pick routes off, and his father reached out to me, man, just the other day, and he was talking about, Law, I told you what my son's gonna do, and et cetera, and I was like, shoot, I saw it, you know what I'm saying? So, and I did my film review on it when I was doing college film breakdown, and I was right, I'm glad that my eyes didn't deceive me for what I can see from here, and I truly believe too, though, that people fail to realize next season, not this season, but next season, write this down. Eric Scott is similar. I see Eric Scott very similar, bro, and people sleeping on him. People sleeping on him.
I saw him. I saw a flash of him in preseason.
Yeah.
And I saw the talent. I saw the talent. I didn't see him make a bunch of big plays, but like I said, I always look at the interior of a football game, And I saw his ability to close even in short zones.
Yep.
When you run those little quick curls, and Scott has that ability to close, and he's a good tackler.
Yeah, he's a damn good tackler, man. Yeah.
Yes. He kind of reminds me of Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown, people criticize Anthony Brown, but what they didn't realize was Anthony Brown usually finished around the top at the end of every season in yards allowed, the least amount of yardage allowed.
Yeah.
He just could not knock the passes down. For some reason, he could locate the ball, but he couldn't get his hands up there quick enough. That's the only drawback on that.
And you know what? I think that we gambled and betted on the wrong guy. I think that if we were to just be patient for one more year, and there's another guy who would have went really good in our system. His name is Cheeto Awuzie with Dan Quinn. He would have fit. Yeah. He'll feel right on in with what we're doing with this system, but we was robbed of that, and that's the only thing that really kind of like, God dog, if we were to have Cheeto Awuzie with Dan Quinn, but that's water under the bridge now, bro. We got some good DBs. I think that, and next year we still gonna draft another DB, and Eric Scott gonna be the dude that everybody talk about next year. I appreciate you, dog.
I think so. Hey man, I think so as well. And real quick before I get out of here, I just want to move to the other side of the ball. Mm-hmm. The last time I talked with you was a little over a month ago.
Right.
We talked about the offense. And Mike McCarthy is actually doing what I hope that he would do. If you remember on our conversation, I said that I thought that they were being very conservative on offense because it was a new offense and they were trying to learn it. So McCarthy, he's working these other players in, like Jalen Brooks, Jalen Tolbert. You're starting to see these guys, but he's not going to show you his whole hand. That's the difference between him and Kellen Moore. See, Kellen Moore, by the time you got to midseason, you knew his whole playbook. That was the problem.
Yeah.
And he's not run-oriented enough. Now you have an experienced guy like Mike McCarthy, and I'm gonna put the whole league on notice. I'm not saying the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. No, I hope and pray that they do. But what I'm actually saying is that if y'all think this is luck, you other fans out there, you know damn well that you don't want to see the Cowboys late in the season or nowhere in the playoffs. Talk all you want. I wouldn't want to see it.
Yes, indeed.
You want to see all of that?
Yeah, and this is new. It's a new vibe, man. You know, because right now, if you just listen to like the outside noise just a little bit, you will hear like the worries of like, well, when the Cowboys see the Seattle, or when the Cowboys see the Eagles, or man, that's gonna be an L when they see the Bills, when they see the Miami. And Miami just got good this year. Or when they see the Miami, because Miami was okay last year. Or when they see the Lions.
Right.
But God dog, when will they be like, hey, man, when they see Dallas, man, shoo. You know, we don't get that side, you know. So, but I'm quite sure.
No, you don't get that
yeah, we don't get that. So after this year, I bet you people gonna be like, man, phew. When you playing Dallas, man, you got to bring everything. And we are proving it too. Yeah.
Well, see, here's the thing. I've thought long and hard about this for the last several weeks.
Right.
The Dallas team that we saw that slaughtered the Giants 40-0, slaughtered the New York Jets, and then had all these blowout wins. Let's say the first 4 games, and then got blown out by the 49ers. This is not the same team that we saw early in the year.
It's definitely not.
This is a whole different football team. Same people, you understand, but on a different station.
Yeah, you're
right.
right.
I want people to know that. Mike McCarthy, Aaron Rodgers didn't make Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy made Aaron Rodgers.
Man, it's a good call from you, man. I thank you so much for calling in, Mark. Man, you have a good one, man. And hey, if it takes you another 3 months, call in, dog. Appreciate you, man.
All right, happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you, man. Good call from him. Yeah, man. We don't get that national respect, but that's okay. That's okay. I heard that respect is earned, not given anyway. So I mean, if what we are doing is not earned yet, then that's okay. We're gonna earn it. We're gonna earn it this Thursday, then. And then the following weeks. And I don't want to hear nobody saying, well, it's because no. I don't want them just saying, well, technically teams after they play the 49ers, they're like 2 and blah, 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 and 15. No. It's just the schedule we played, and we going to give the Seattle Seahawks. I can't stand the Seahawks. They hurt my quarterback in 2016. They hurt my quarterback. They hurt Tony Romo. And I get it. Some people throwing out, well, Dak is 0-3 versus the Seattle Seahawks in the regular season. That's okay. Well, Dak got his first playoff win versus the Seahawks, too. I can't stand the Seahawks. I can't stand them. All right, we got the 206. You're live on the
What
Nation.
up, Lord?
Talk to me, man.
What's up, family? Shout out to all my crew. 100 grand. My boy VIP Queen and the other sister. And we still got love for D and my other brother.
No doubt.
We still got love for you. But Lord, I just want to say the Cowboys is on a different level. And Lord, you know what I told you. Because you remember 100 grand, the one that said it's going to win 8 in a row, right?
Yeah, and then we got the little
And
hiccup.
then we got beat by Philly because of the refs. I'm going to say the refs, Lord.
Oh, yeah. Stay on that hill. Yeah. Stay on that hill.
I'm saying the refs.
Yeah.
I'm saying the refs.
Yeah.
So now, McCarthy is like, man, hey, guys, if we put in the refs hand, y'all know what's going to happen now. So y'all come out here playing around. You know what the refs going to do to us, and we're going to have that stupid look on our face.
Yeah.
So now it's making them play harder. But another thing, your center is getting healthy, your guard is getting healthy, and your other right tackle. That's the key.
Right.
That is making them good. Now we just got to infiltrate. I want to put the big boy. Remember, I keep talking about my big. I love my defense. Put my big D tackle that we got from New England in the game. Put him in there with Hankins. And that's gonna make the linebackers really eat. That way the safeties ain't got to be worrying about helping down. You see where I'm going, Law? That's gonna help number 2. That's gonna help your corners. You put that big boy in the game. I hope Dan Quinn is listening. We gotta start destroying this team. We gotta really make these teams throw the ball. Cause you put them boys and let them pass all game, then you're gonna make the Cowboys eat. The Cowboys gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I give Bland credit. Bland said, "Man, I didn't have no good game. Love it." Dak Prescott said, "Man, I ain't done shit.
You ain't done.
I ain't done nothing.
You ain't did anything.
Everybody thinking the same. We ain't done nothing." So they in the room. They in the locker room, and they saying it. CeeDee Lamb said, "Here we go. One game at a time, man.
One game at a time." See, it's us. We talking about the doggone, Seattle Eagles and Bills.
I don't care about them.
They focus right now is on the doggone Seattle Sea Chickens, right?
Seattle
Chicken of the sea, So we gonna make them chicken of the sea, and we gonna pull out another turkey leg and eat that, So yeah, I feel you. I feel you, man.
I think we gonna score 38-40 on them. Remember, I kept saying we're gonna score 30 a game. Did I?
Okay. Woo, man, you
yeah.
You did say we're gonna. Yeah. We'll see though. We'll see.
No. Look. They moving now. The receivers. It went up to 70%. This week it's gonna be 80%. Against Philly, gonna be 90, and they're gonna keep it at 90. And then when they play Buffalo, Miami, it's gonna be 100. They're gonna be. Man, I'm telling you, Law. Can't nobody stop their offense. And if you don't get pressure on Dak Prescott, he's going to kill you.
Sure, you ain't lying. Sure right. Sure enough.
And he's using them legs. He's using them legs,
He are.
We said, if he used them legs, go to the Mississippi, Dak, ain't nobody beating him. And that's what he's doing, y'all. He's playing the Mississippi way.
Right.
Stop trying to be careful. Look at the difference. Now, to all the Cowboy fans, y'all was talking all that smack. Y'all was crying. Can you give me that line? Can you bring that up, Law? The cry baby? Can you bring it?
Okay,
I play it for me? They was doing that, Law. You know why they was doing that?
Why are they doing that?
They call us fool. McCarthy, man. McCarthy was taking his chance. He had to build that offense up. He was going step by step. Now Dak Prescott. It's like a video game to him. He's seeing everything. He's like, oh my God. He's like, you know what I'm saying? Dak Prescott's like, oh my God. I didn't know it was like this. Oh my God. And then they don't even trip. Because you can tell when they played Philly, man, everything had to go Philly way. They kept going down the field on Philly. And Philly's supposed to have a good defense. And they kept going down on the field. Now, that's what I give. And look, everybody look. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. When Dallas played Carolina DBs was better than Philly DBs and Washington DBs because they know how to play. They play that San Francisco defense. And Dak Skills got 33 points.
Man,
that's educating that brother, man. Y'all got to get kudos to Mr. Prescott, man. He is not playing around. He taking this game serious. And we it's going to be 38 or 45, about 10 or 13 or 17 for Seattle. They're going to get blown away. And the fans, hey, Long, and they're going to say, that was the Seattle.
Yeah. Appreciate you, man, Marv. Appreciate you.
Shout out to Law Nation and my family. Salute. How about them Cowboys?
That's my guy, MJ, man. We can't wait to see what we're going to do against the Seattle Seahawks. And
goodbye.
Appreciate everybody who called in, man. We're gonna land this plane. I appreciate y'all so much. Brought to you by American Airlines. Hey, run that money up, American Airlines. Appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in for these type of episodes. Appreciate all of you guys for being part of these type of things too. Be sure to hit the like button, share this content. I think I got a few more super chats that I got to read out from here, and I really appreciate y'all. We got Galvin, appreciate you. Now is not the time for we like our guys philosophy. Yeah. I feel you on that, fam. But I think that Shaq is doing a solid for the guys from the guys that's over there in Philly land. The head coach there, they was on the same team at one point, so he got to do that. And if he signed with the Eagles, then that's just what it is, right? I trust this part of the situation, y'all. All I say is bring a guy in for a cup of coffee. Check him out. Make sure that everything is great. Go out, have a nice meal together, and let his heart decide, right? And if he want to be in Philly, then let him be. But if he want to at least check it out, then come back, then come on back. They might have had something already on paper, and he's going over there to get all of the information. He's going over there to grab all of the details. So it might not be that bad, y'all. He might be going over there like, oh, okay, this is what y'all got going on. Oh, okay. And then he's an informant, y'all. He can be an informant. He probably can, or it can be vice versa. He can go tell the Eagles all of the secrets, and we really going to make him public enemy number one. Press Ham says, my issue is people acting like the refs not a problem. Like we can't say anything to them like the royal family or something. That is the issue, Law. Yeah, look, I get it. It's the refs are like Uncle Sam, right? The taxes. We can't stand taxes. We got to pay them, right? You know, I want smaller government. I don't like large government. You know what I'm saying? And I get it, right? But we can't be going around saying that just because we are mad at the way we are being taxed that we're not going to pay them, because that's one thing, regardless of you red, white, blue, indifferent, you got to pay them taxes, man. And I don't have that ability like Trump and them to overcompensate my playbook as it relates to that paybook and avoid taxes, right? I don't have that hush-hush money that I can give out to lobbyists, right? Not to make this a political show, by the way. But what I'm saying is collectively, the refs are just like that. They are unstoppable. They are uncontrollable, right? Because there are always calls that's subjective. And when you do those things, there are no repercussions. So when we see flaws with the aficionados in games, all we can do is point it out, but we're going to still be considered as crybaby fans when we do. Like, we can clearly see that, man, that was a horse collar call. Or, man, that dude tackled my guy Luke Schoonmaker before he even got a chance to catch the ball, right? Man, that dude literally hit that man in the face, right? And it's at the craziest of the craziest time. So the only way the Cowboys gotta win is like a brother in the 70s and the 80s trying to buy a house, you know, the housing market, you know what I'm saying? They gonna really scrutinize them. That's just how the Cowboys are. So everybody getting a taste of what it feels like to be a brother growing up in the 70s and the 80s, you know, applying for the housing market and knowing that it's not gonna be justified, right, on the things that he gotta look at in order to buy a certain house in that particular neighborhood. That's just how it is, y'all. So we can point it out, but I don't think there's gonna be any changes, you know. That's just how it is. And we can look at it, we can see it. Like, man, come on, man. Hey, man, wait a minute. You didn't call it for those people, but you gonna call it for us, and vice versa. So the Zebras, there's no repercussions for Son Hockley. There's no repercussion for all of the other, I don't know all of the names of those officials, but there's none. There's nothing we can do. Absolutely none. So I wish I can evade on some taxes, but in the moment I do that, you know. FBI, open up! Come on, IRS. Come on, please don't come get me. Yes, indeed. The Colton Smith said the old victim mentality. Yeah, so there's no way around it, you know. And even though we will say, hey, man, my credit score is 780 or my credit score is 810, how am I not qualified? Well, you know, due to your income to debt ratio, you know. Wait a minute. I thought you don't use that. Well, now we use it. Hey, man, I'm trying to get this loan and extend my businesses. You know what I'm saying? Well, hey, you know, how long you been working here? Well, you know, can you provide this paperwork? No, I only been in business for 2 years. Well, hey, you don't have the information, unfortunately. So let me go over here. Appreciate y'all. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Airborne Cowboy. That's a cold-blooded name. I like that one. If the Cowboys were to land Leonard, which linebacker are you taking off the field, Clark, Bell, Evans, or Parsons? Well, you will be able to flex Parsons around more. You could do things now as disguising the mic. Right? There will be situations whereas there will be a rotation. I think that even though Damone Clark is playing decent, he's not playing like elite or anything. I think that they are playing probably at the same level or a little bit below each other. And I would literally put in Darius as a mic, right? But before he get the chance to earn it on the field, he got to earn it in the study room, right? So he got to pick up what Dan Quinn philosophy is all about. And you would absolutely have less play of Marquise Bell on certain situations. Marquise Bell is doing a great job, by the way, in this year. This is his sophomore year, Marquise Bell, and then this is basically his first year playing linebacker, and he make a wonderful transition over to that spot of the field. But there are things, write this down, I say this all the time, there are things that he's still learning. A new broom can sweep the floor good, but that old broom can get those corners. And when it's time for us to get those corners, you would have at least have that experience to pull from. Just like the old adage of even with Kellen Moore. We had the expectations, Kellen Moore in his first year, we're going to win the Super Bowl. Kellen Moore in his second year calling plays, we're going to win the Super Bowl. Kellen Moore in his third year, we're going to win the Super Bowl, right? The expectations is high. But even in the mindset of Kellen Moore, he never been there before, right? He never had that experience. So when we go into games, yes, he looked good against smaller performance, right? Or against not as of aggressive teams, right? Because his experience was good at that degree. But when you're talking about raising that level, he just had nothing to pull from. And that is what we're saying for even with Marquise Bell. It's a new spot for him, 1. 2, he's undersized. He's 205. 3, he's still learning. Even though he may look good against certain teams, he's still learning. And that's just the reality there. DNP Nation, shout out to you. Thank you for your support. I don't even know why I gave my hopes up for when I know Steven and Jerry wasn't going to do anything. I would say this, and it's not hate. We have to let it go all the way through DNP, you know. So, you know, don't make that hate this team. We are 8-3. Before Darius Leonard even thinking about coming over here, we are 8-3. Could we be better with him? We don't know. Could we be better without him? I'm quite sure we would still be who we are without him. So that's just all I'm gonna say. So don't hate the team because we didn't pick up Darius Leonard or he's going over there to be the ops right now. We don't know, you know. So look, I get it. It's hard for me to tell y'all to be happy about this team for what we did in the last 27 to 28 years. It's hard for me to tell y'all that. But one thing I can tell you for sure is that this team, we're not as bad as most people think. We're not as what most people think that this particular team won't be able to do X, Y, and Z. We lost 3 games this year. We're 8-3, not 3-8. Can you imagine being a Chicago Bears fan right about now? Carolina fan? Can you imagine being those teams, man? Come on. Granted, we are the America's team. We never walked outside and said, hey, make us America's team. Put it on me. Give us the shine and the glory. Give us all of the accolades.
Spartans, prepare for glory.
Win, lose, or draw, we're going to be here. Win, lose, or draw, we can go 5 seasons in a row with winning only 2 or 3 games. I'm still here. Y'all may leave, but I'm still here. This is my team. Before Jerry Jones bought the team. Now I'll turn from being the optimistic law, you know what I'm saying? The optimism law, you know. I'll be more of the complaining law, but I'm still here. I love this team. But don't let them distract you. Don't let them change your mind. There's other teams that are going through more and more situations. And if people knew who gonna win the Super Bowl before the season start, then there'll be a multitude of a lot of people watching this channel being millionaires. Nobody knows what's gonna happen. So what do y'all want us to be? Y'all want us to be 11-0? Y'all think that will make us feel good? Somebody gave me a record the other day of saying that the teams that had the number 1 seed in the NFC, they don't even make it to the Super Bowl. I remember one year that I saw a team with the 3rd ranked defense, number 1 offense or number 2 offense, something like that, had the MVP, had a quarterback that can circumcise a gnat with his throws, named Aaron Rodgers. 13-3. Oh my goodness, man, they good. Or 13-4, whatever year that was. They got, hey, they lost to the same team we lost to in the doggone playoffs. I think it was the 49ers they lost to. The quarterback had a worse QBR than us. That guy was able to scave and go off to the next season with no worries. So collectively, with a team with a better offense, with a better defense, with a better quarterback, and allegedly at the time a better coach, I guess you can say, couldn't win the Super Bowl. Lost to the same team we lost to. And that team didn't even win the Super Bowl. So nobody knows what's going to happen. That's just what it is. So win, lose, or draw, we are here. Jerry Jones, at least he's stepping in the right direction, putting Jimmy Johnson in the Ring of Honor. That is what it is. Greg Barry says he's been here since 77. So the Cowboys just got to be locked in and stay focused. Thank you, DC, for life, not for short. Law, as always, great. Another great fire episode. Nothing but the best. Appreciate you, Law. DC for life. Let's freaking go. Let's go. Let's go. Where my let's go button at?
Let's go, man. Let's go.
No doubt, man. One love to y'all. But if you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired, and it makes you all hold everything tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you will gladly go out there and sweat for it and fret for it and plan, to lose all terror of your mind, if you would simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, with faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold, poverty, or famish or fame, or the sickness of your body or brain can turn you away from the thing you want, if dogged and grim and besieged and beset, let me see some fires all in that chat, and you will get it. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. Say it one more time with me.
Spartan! What is your profession? This is Sparta! Damn!
Let's go, baby! One love, baby. In the words of Pride.
Give me my theme music.
Give me my theme music. Prime probably need more than theme music over there now. I saw a tweet that somebody said that Shadora and Travis, they need to go transfer back to Florida. Well, they giving my guy a hard time. Appreciate y'all. One love, baby. Salute to all of y'all. If I offended anyone, charge it to my head, not my heart. Let's get it. Woo, I love all that fire. Lately. Come on. Let's get it. Shout out to you, Jay. Shout out to your birthday. Baby. Hey. Oh. I love seeing that fire out there before I roll those credits. Fire. Desire. Roll credits, baby. Prepare for glory. Boy, VIP had people on the ropes, didn't he? Talking about, Law, if you at the beach with your lady, and then you see another lady, you see Ruby Rose and them, you know. What you gonna do, Law? What you gonna do? You see Ice Spice and all of them, you know. That boy crazy, ain't it? Shout out to you, Branday, Travis, Glenn, Common Sense, Crush, Nubian King. Appreciate you. Sydney Jones, DC for life. Take care of business, baby. Law, you on the beach, man. You see Megan Thee Stallion, you gonna shoot your shot? No, you might miss, hit the feet. Oops.
Kinda check a song. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. I just be off the dome.
What happened to Law, y'all? He shot his shot at Megan. He hit the feet. Boy, y'all, don't come get me. Shout out to you, Gina with the G and Gina with the J. Let's go. Lately, I just wanna. Come on, as Modia said, never take sand to a beach. Come on. Oh my God. Y'all be sure to check out other content creators. I never knew that I'd be live for 3 hours. We got another show later on tonight, gonna be live forever. Yeah. But let's go, Cowboy Nation. Now pay attention to this photo right there. Y'all see the photo? Now I ran this photo through an AI optimizer, right? That's the real photo right here. But watch with the AI optimizer. I thought I would just it made those guys look too weird though. You know what I'm saying? So it made Jerry look like he's like passed away or something. And they try to put him back together. Dak Prescott face all wide and stuff. And they made Darius Leonard AI optimizer did pretty good. But you see, that's the other one. Boom. So he took the wrinkles off Jerry Jones' face. See, I'm moving it back and forward. So I said, nah, I'm just going to use the old grainy picture and we're going to get on up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Always use the AI optimizer, you know. Let's go. See y'all tonight. One love. Roll Tide.
Don't let the street lights hit you all alone. You know it's dangerous to go alone. Don't let the street lights hit you. Can
I be your player too? I follow. And another one.
And another one.
I got you. Somebody said put Dolly up there. I got you. Bear with me. I'm going to go to my other AI tool. And we're going to put Dolly up there. Let the street lights hit you. Give me a few times. I got to go and find a nice picture. It's dangerous, baby. Don't let the street lights hit you. Street lights hit you. Turn me up a little bit. I follow.
Wherever you go, whatever you do, play it too.
a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So
watch this last note.
so far. If a paper crane can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
Hey, let's go. Sounds of soft souls and hits and oldies. Brought to you by Dolly. Boom. Let's blow up a little bit.
In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right.
All right, let me see if I can put an AI optimizer.
It's not hard to fool me.
No.
'Cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yeah. Lead the way. I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all.
Come on. Jump on in, ladies and gentlemen.
So tell your good night, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah. Susceptible now, before the moment flies. Ooh, so tell your good night, 'cause I'll buy no matter
That's a terrible optimizer right there. All right, so that's one.
It's not a problem.
Come on.
'Cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah. And nothing can stop me. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way.
One love to y'all.
I follow.
All right, I made it look sharper. Before and after.
Where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all.
Salute.
Tell you good night, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah. Susceptible now, before the moment flies. Before it flies. So tell you good night, 'cause I'll buy no matter what.
Come on with it, baby.
I want me some Oreo.
Until next time, DC for life, not for short. Let's continue to grind and shine, baby. We up out. One love. Yes, indeed. Come on, Jerry. Get right there. There we go. There we go. Salute.